Welcome into the show. Appreciate you guys all being here. My name is UltimatDJz. This is Talking Trek on a Sunday afternoon. Star Trek Fleet Command Podcast. Appreciate you guys all being here. What's going on? All right. It's ARC preview weekend. We've got some stuff to talk about. We're going to wrap up the previous ARC. We're going to jump right into it as there is much to talk about, including a new timeline, which we're going to get to as well. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get it started with a Talking Trek server sound off. You guys go ahead and punch it up in chat, and we'll see where you guys are hailing from tonight. Nude Whistle on server 29 kicking us off. DM Penfold on 137. Dr. Juby says dongle. Thank you. Raskar, server 30, into Hizzy, Stradalorian 9. Jason Cash, server 13. Thank you. Tarpy on 30, just like the temperature. Zach on 84, Chewy on 30. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. John on 32, Murphy 164, Shinzola on 147, Benny Hills Ghost on server 42. Thank you. Fisty joining us on server 20. Bender the Robot on 51. Commander Taylor on 187. Polish Prince on server 24. Thank you. J-Babes 13. Shady Pines on 27 and 29. General Darkfire on server 30. Tepish on 89. Thank you. JG Nasty on 702. Gray Sabers on 29. Trek Diva 86. Big J on 95. Deadly Blirish 61. Fun Daddy on 701. Mimi on 61. Strider on 30 as well. Tacos Chemist. Chemtech. I need another Oreo cookie. I need Oreos. 703, thank you. Samus Saran on server 57. What's going on? Tony Pyle on 86. Kevin on 145. Enterprise on server 30. Savage Darkness says hydration. Okay, I can do that. Thank you. Shinzola on 153. Mac Barcelona 138. Silver Tab on 33. Season on 86. Thad on the flagship 15. Gimnon on 26. Johnny 544. Burton on 701. Tobias on 29. Dave Hart on 704. Thank you. Restrucci on 63. Spacewalker on 118. Taffman 155. Torin Avery on 702. Captain Surge on server 91. Holy smokes, did I read them all? Trader on the server 201. I got through the whole daggone list, Tarpy. Look at me. Look at me. I got through the whole list. Oh, your name still says Tarpy loves orange. I should change that, probably.
I should have worn an orange shirt.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everybody. Appreciate you guys all being here. What's going on? My name is UltimatDJz. That is Tarpitude, and this is Talking Trek. Griffin will be returning with us next week. Actually, will be back with us, I believe, Tuesday for Talking in Cars with DJs. Tarpy, you know, he just came off that television shoot he was telling us about.
Yep.
And didn't get back until Saturday, and decided promptly to take Penguin and the kid and go on vacation. So they went out this weekend. I think they're at Disney. I think they're at Disney or somewhere down there. So anyway,
is he like scouting?
Yeah, possibly. Yes, very much so. How's the headache? Dude, yesterday it was brutal. It was really bad yesterday. I don't get migraines, and I still don't think this was a migraine. It just was a really annoying headache. I took a nap, and that didn't help much either. So, anywho, I did, though, get a good night's sleep, got up today, and immediately started doing work. All right, immediately started doing work, Tarpy. I made some excellent progress on the cow video. I did. I'm probably halfway through. Probably about halfway through. I mean, we shot probably 8 to 10 hours worth of video, and I'm probably roughly halfway through. But now, I've got it narrowed down to like 12 minutes so far. So
how far in your arm would you say you are then? If
on the arm, elbow to wrist, I would say I'm like right here, right halfway. All right. Which I mean, it went further. Okay. I mean, goes further. All right. By the time I get the video done, we'll be shoulder deep. All right. But yeah, I did start doing a lot of work on that today and got a lot of work done on it. And that's going to be great. So hopefully I can get that out in the next week or two. Jonathan Ingram says, I made excellent progress on a new video today, too. Just checking real quick. Oops. Yeah. What video did you have? Because you didn't raid me today. You did raid me 2 or 3 times over the last week or so, though. But, you know, what you going to do? Hey, let me say a couple of thank yous very quickly. It was from a few nights ago. Yeah, I remember that. Was that the one where I was actually online? I think that was the one where I was online and I just couldn't do anything because the game was stuck. Let me say thanks to a couple of people. Taco Chemtech, thank you for the 10 stream streak. You need a 7-up ghost. Yes, I do. That would be great. Tony Pie with the 140 stream streak. Captain Palmer, 43 months at tier 1. Thank you for the PPP point. Spacewalker.
How close are we?
17 months at tier 1. Thank you. 77 of 77. 21 months at tier 3, you legend. Thank you. Appreciate that very much. Thank you guys all. Enterprise, where were you? Where are we on PPP? 280. Oh my gosh. This is going to make me nervous. We've got 3 days left and we still got 20 points that we got to pick up. This is going to make me super nervous. If we don't hit, then we got to start all over. Oh gosh. We got to get 20 more points, guys. 20 more points. All right. If you are already a tier 1, that would be 20 tier 1 subs, all right, out of pocket. But 10 people just take their tier 1 up to tier 2, right? Or like 6 people take their tier 2 to tier 3. Need some help there. Yo, Moose, thank you. Tier 1 at 26 months. That puts us at 281. Thank you very much. Actually, it may not put us at 281. It depends on if he already subbed and like just came and did the notification. So I'm going to count on Enterprise to keep us apprised. However, the best and safest way to help us get this thing done is to get us to tier 2 and tier 3 is to celebrate with the Partner Plus upgrade. And I'll remind you, just real quick, if you were looking for an incentive, Tarpy, over here on Twitch, I know we're on podcast right now, but if there was an incentive from Twitch and the YouTube folks to come over to give a sub on Twitch, the tier 3s now actually have their brand new little chat room. It's been a little quiet in there so far, but we need to fill it up, and I'm going to start putting feet pics in there. All right, of cats.
I don't know if that's. Oh, I was gonna say I don't know if your feet would exactly sell that.
No, definitely not. Yeah, for cats. All right, we'll put that in there. Yeah, so no, it'll be fun. We've for whatever reason we've been exchanging spider pictures in there too as well, which is weird. Not entirely sure why there's so many spider pictures in there, but yes. Now, if you are tier 3 over here on Twitch and you don't have access to the tier 3 chat over on Discord, be sure to link your Discord and your Twitch accounts through your account settings, and it'll automatically grant you that, and you'll be able to come in and enjoy our tier 3 chat that we've got over in the Discord. Wildstar, thank you for your 20-month resub. Fun Daddy, 10 months at tier 2. Let's go. And Moose, thank you, 26 months. Appreciate you guys. Spider pig, no, actual just spiders. There's ones that just popped out of the ground. Spiders, there's spider pictures in there for some reason. And I don't know how this has actually come to be.
It
but
was your idea, dude.
Lots of spiders. What can I do if me and all the voices in my head are already tier 3? Well, make sure that you link your account, Canine Tooth, because I don't see you in the tier 3 chat. All right, I don't see you over. Oh, there you are. There you are. I see you now. So make sure if you are not in the tier 3 chat, you guys get your accounts linked up and you can come over and have some fun in a brand new exclusive chat. Tarpy, happy weekend to you. There's a lot going on today. We've got the ARC wrap up that we need to do. Mm-hmm. And honestly, you know, we were talking about this in our stage chat just a little bit ago. I'm not sure how much I want to talk about this. Can I just say, I don't know if there's a whole lot that I want to talk about. All right, let's just, you know what? We could just go ahead and go right down the list, Tarpy. All right, and we'll be quick about it, right? Incursions. That doesn't actually count, though, does it?
No, that was after the arc.
That was after the arc. What about Coda 2? Can we talk about Coda 2?
Also after the arc.
Oh, also after the arc. Okay.
I'd rather not to, because we already did.
Yeah.
It ended poorly.
What about the officers this month? The officers were great, right? Officers were super good because who doesn't need help in their group open armadas up in G7 space. That's good, right? None of the events had any scoring issues. I don't think we had any real like compensations or maintenances that kept us out of the game for an extended period of time. Overall, it was a pretty good month.
Did we? Are you sure?
That was Mirror Universe. That might have been the Mirror Universe experience. Yeah.
Oh.
There were no lat gates. Okay. That's right, Moose. Yeah, no lat gates.
Oh, that was actually also after the arc.
Oh, also after the arc. Outposts. Yeah. Outposts definitely weren't broken. Okay, so that's... No, that was not it.
That was new, too, wasn't it? Because that started this month. That didn't even start the month before. That just started this month.
That was a brand new bug. Definitely one that hasn't extended over multiple months. Listen, we could spend all day making fun and poking a little bit, but suffice to say, it was not a good arc. Okay? Not a good arc. Performance, all-time bad. Engineering and lag, all-time bad. I've even said that I've been somewhat forgiving of things that, would have been kind of goofy. For example, like I am not fussy about the battle engine update. And I'm not super fussy that some of that is still not working properly. Okay? I get it. Chang, Joachim, I get that some people are very, very fussy about that. I see over here, Stradalorian says, broken officers. Here's why I'm going to be a little bit more understanding of that is because this was a significant engine update. It was a significant step forward for what the game needs in a technological sense. I am very understanding because of how bad the code of this game is. Okay? The fact that we have a couple of officers that are now broken against a specific target, all right, for a specific target, I'm a little bit more forgiving on, just because who could have anticipated that, all right? And by the way, why aren't they working now? Because they probably haven't figured it out yet. Burton says, I'm more upset about the cadets than I am Chang or Joachim. And I know some people are upset about this, but here's a definition that I like to, I get hung up on words around here, okay? This is probably my ADHD a little bit that I don't have. But outposts are not broken, all right? There is a bug, for sure, okay? But you can still run them. You can still get your loot. And if one of those officers is an officer that you ordinarily use, you can make adjustments, whether that's punching down one or hitting a different target or using a different set of officers. There are a couple of things with Outposts that you can do to still be able to progress within that loop. Murphy says, I'm more upset about no communication. Well, that's fair, except they did give us one communication. They did give us one. They just haven't come back to it because there isn't anything new to be able to say. Okay, they did on April 23rd, which is just 3 days ago, say that, hey, in regards to officer issues, the team believes that they may have identified a permanent fix, but it still needs to be thoroughly tested to ensure it's stable and ready to be deployed. At this time, we do not have an ETA, but here's hoping that it can be resolved quickly. And they talk about Cadet Uhura and Next Gen LaForge, as well as Chang, as well as Joachim. Okay, so that announcement did actually come, okay, but there's not been anything since then because is there anything to report? Okay, now Guffa says, LOL, ha ha he ha ha he he ha 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 he ha ha. There's a Q on the end of that. It was probably a typo. And then he says, thoroughly tested. Laughy face emoji. All right. Listen, trust me, Guffa. If it wasn't tested, nothing was worked. Okay? Trust me. All right. Now, here's the thing. Savage Darkness says Outpost crew works fine. I don't know what people are on about. Well, there are 3 officers, technically 4, I guess. 4 officers, Savage Darkness, that are not functioning as expected. Okay? And that is Joachim. That is Chang and 2 of the cadets. V-Real says, so DJ is okay selling a car that starts and gets you to work 3 out of 5 days. No, I'm not. But if the air conditioner doesn't work, I'm not going to say that the car's undrivable. I'm just going to use something else. I'm going to roll down the window or something of that nature. Listen, I've said this before, and by the way, I'm not defending that it's bugged. It obviously is. But I've said this before. Is it enough for you to stop all progression? Are you going to stop all progression? Or are you going to do what you can do? Right? I'm going to do what I can do. I'm going to get the loot because I don't want to halt my progression in there. I don't want to make the acquisition of Cisco skill points or Cisco Fleet Commander even worse than it already is. I'm not going to stop trying to redeem and earn those medals because I've got officers to upgrade. All right? Sugar Red calls it a tax on progression. For sure. Yeah, no, it's definitely not at 100%. All right? But I'm not going to screech it down to 0%. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to screech it down to 0% because I still need some of that stuff. Berlin says I'm going to lemon law the car. Okay, that's great, but there's no analogy for that here. How do you lemon law this game?
I shouldn't.
If you figure it out, let me know. All right? Because I don't think there's any lemon law protecting our gaming experience here. Hey, Shannon, how are you?
No.
So there are certain issues here that are in place, but is it something that I'm going to stop my progression on? No. All right, I'm not going to. I'm going to find ways that I can still try to get some of that stuff, okay? SKZ says, fair enough, DJ, I understand, but should we have to constantly skip around their screw-ups all the time? No, we definitely shouldn't. Okay, and that's where we can come out and say, hey, last month, trash, really, really bad. All right, the one thing that, like I said, out of all the stuff that happened this past month, the one thing that I'm not grumpy about is the battle engine update. All right, but there's no excuse for the engineering failures, the scoring metric failures, the events that didn't launch right, the events that didn't launch in the right bucket, the ones that didn't have the right text, the ones that were missing hostiles, the ops levels that were skipped over, the rewards that weren't given right, and I mean, all the list goes on. Wait, what? I look hairless today.
Tarpy, what did you do the other day?
Nothing. No.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
All right. I swear I saw Oliver on your stream.
He was here. Shannon was there. Shannon, did you leave? You must have left early because I even called you out in chat, and then you were gone. Governor says, "Well, yeah. Did you lose some weight? Yeah, I did. Thanks, appreciate that. Okay, for the podcast audience, I actually had to wax my nostrils on stream the other night. It was disgusting. You don't want to watch that. And then you missed,
didn't you?
Huh? Well, I got some of the wax in my mustache. Yeah, it hurt. It didn't feel good.
Oh, Silver Tab, you're right. That headache you had yesterday, that was because you pulled out too much brain through your nose.
That could have happened. Hero, thank you for your 39 months at Tier 1. Manx thank you for your resub with Prime. Captain Surge, thank you so much for your Tier 2 sub at 4 months. Thank you guys so much. And Enterprise says now we are at 287. He says that if 2 people turn their Tier 1 into Tier 2 and then into Tier 3, then 300 is done. We could do it today. Tony Pie says, aren't you guys playtesting the game? Tag UltimatDJz. Tony Pie. So the correct answer to that is yes. We get 1 hour a month to play test a new feature, scrape as much data as we can, find as many bugs as we can, and then write a report. Okay? We get to do that within 60 minutes. So when you say, do we get to play test the game? Yes, we do. Is there enough time? Rarely. But we're also not play testing all the events. We're not play testing for scoring metrics. We're not doing that. We're literally looking at the new feature. For example, Chef, thank you for your 100 kitty bitties. Appreciate that so much. For example, this month, I play tested Duo Wave Defense. All right? And we got to play in that, and we identified a number of bugs, which we're going to talk about. I am comfortable telling you about some of the bugs that I found because some of them are going to make you angry. All right? Some of them are going to make me angry. And some of them are a year and a half old and have never been fixed. All right. So, for example, have I play tested the Mythical Battle Pass? No, there's nothing to play test there. It's just a thing. I'm not even sure. Correct me if I'm wrong, Tarpy. We were expecting a data dump on that. We have not received that yet, right? We do not have the data? Yes. So we were hoping for the data. We were told we could get the data so that we could map it out and see what, look at the math and make sure that it was going to hold. But we haven't seen that yet. All right. But we can talk about what we've seen in wave defense, in duo wave defense. But here's the thing. You guys already know what they are. Let me just ask real quick. How many of you guys, Tolker, thank you for your 44 months at Tier 2. And Captain Surge coming in and upgrading to Tier 2 as well. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. Let me ask. How many of you guys are familiar with bugs that exist inside regular wave defense, whether it's group or solo? Throw them up in the chat. And let's see what you got. Let's see. Omega says, after your report, do you get to play test a second time? No, I do not.
No, yes, we do. It's called arcfall.
Okay, yeah, there you go. Let me go through the list here, okay? Ares says ghost ships. In fairness, did not experience that. Stradalorian says client crashing. In fairness, didn't experience that, but I did play test on PC. Silvertab says Kirshara being broken. Hold on, I've got a button for this. I think it's right here. Where's my button? It's next to the blink counter. Okay, Kirshara being broken. There you go. Let's see. What else do we have? The Junker beam delay. But that's only in round 1 because in waves 2 through 4, the Junker doesn't work at all. Okay. Beam not instant. Sure. Fine. That's fine. Yeah, the Junker's not going to work in waves 2 through 4. Everything's broken to some degree in the usual Scopely way. Sure. Fisty says broken officers. No, we did not experience that. Thank you, Omega. I can't believe no one said that. How about the board cube placement? Okay, that one is oh man, and I went nuts on that. Okay, yeah, the rubber banding, all the ships that you can't see. Okay, Carissa actually points out accurately, by the way, that Kirshara works fine in waves as long as you don't queue more than one hostile per ship. Okay.
So don't use it. Got it. Okay.
Okay, Carissa. Now I will tell you, you're right. Okay, by the way, you are correct, except in this new duo wave defense, there's a lot more hostiles than there are in solo. Okay, a lot more. Does the Borg cube beam work? I wish I had tested that for you, Andy. I am sorry I did not. I am 90% sure it does not. Tarpy, do you remember?
So, well, I did ask that, and the answer doesn't really matter because for the most part, the hull on any of these is going to be large enough that it doesn't matter.
Yeah, they're going to be pretty big. So yeah, this is it. Okay. And this is one of the big criticisms that I had coming into this playtest, coming into this preview was, wave defense? Like, okay, before we even play tested it, Tarpy heard me, before we even started the playtest, hey, did you guys fix the cube? You guys fix the cube yet? No, we haven't fixed the cube yet. All right. So it's frustrating, when you look at some of this stuff, and I'm with you. Now, regarding how it worked, yeah, it's fine. It worked fine. All right. And we can pull up the video and I can show you what we're going to be looking at. And then I'm going to give you some extra data and some extra leaks as we go through here, because there are some things about this mechanic that are going to be fine. They're going to be fine. Whatever. Okay. There's some other things about this mechanic that people aren't going to like. All right. There's things about this arc that people aren't going to like. So why don't we go ahead and do you want to just get into it, Tarpy? What?
Some things about this arc?
Yeah, some things. All right. Some things. All right. And by the way,
that people aren't going to like.
And by the way, I am not taking a giant dump on the next arc. I'm not. Okay? I promise. I am not here to just poop on everything. All right? But I think that there's not good decision-making going into this month. So we're going to play the video. We're going to play the video one time all the way through, Tarpy, because people do actually like this. All right? In the last month, Last month, yeah, no, I get it. Last month,
I'll get my pause counter.
No, hey, wait. People like the fact that I played it all the way through and then went back and then we went through it and paused it. Okay?
Still.
You don't need a pause counter when we know we're going to pause things. Okay?
Your point being?
Oh, jeez. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at Scopely and Fleet Command's brand new IOTA 05 arc, the May 2026 arc. It is Duo Wave Defense. Let's take a look.
Howdy, Commanders. Update 90 Starfleet Academy brings with it a new expansion of Wave Defense. Available to Commanders Op 61 and above, Duo Wave Defense is a new action-packed cooperative mode where two Commanders join forces to battle waves of Academy training drones, combat drones, repair drones, and Venari Rall hostiles. Duo Wave Defense encounters are located in training sim systems throughout Academy space and can be accessed using simulation codes. Once a run is started, one additional player can join, and both players can bring up to 2 ships into the encounter. It's important to note that all hostiles in Duo Wave Defense drop FKR faction rep. Another key tip is that while training drones are susceptible to the GS-31's gravitational blast, combat drones, Venari Rall, and repair drones are immune. All ship classes of Duo Wave Defense hostiles have the critical training ability, which means they have increased critical hit chance, critical hit damage, and critical damage floor. This means that all hostiles in Duo Wave Defense are capable of dealing massive amounts of critical damage. Combat drones have critical training along with an additional effect. They apply hyperthermic decay for 1 round at combat start. Commanders should be aware that these enemies present a much greater challenge and require more strategic planning. The Venari Rall hostiles present an even greater threat. Not only do they share the critical training ability, but they also introduce additional disruptive effects through programmable matter. At the start of each round, they reduce player weapon damage and fully drain shields for 1 round. At combat start, they also apply hyperthermic decay to the hull. Repair drones, or surveys, also have the critical training ability, but that's not all. The repair drone's other ability is nano hull defense. If destroyed by the player, all of your ships in the wave defense encounter gain hyperthermic stabilizer, making them especially effective against combat drones, but not against the Venari Rall hostiles, which are immune. Training drones deal 3 damage to the central entity, combat drones deal 4, and Venari Rall deal 5. Repair drones, on the other hand, heal the central entity for 4 points if they reach it. Defeat training drones to earn training merits. These can be refined into engineering credits, which can be used to acquire key resources like simulation codes, class honors, Sigma resources, and rare Section 31 transmitters. Simulation codes are used to enter Duo Wave Defense to earn additional engineering, science, and command credits. These currencies expand reward options and progression paths. Science credits can be exchanged for G6 and G7 materials, while command credits provide access to Academy officers and officer laurels. Also available in the refinery are class honors, which are used to upgrade the Starfleet Academy remote campus, further enhancing progression and rewards. Coordinate with your partner, prioritize targets, and protect the central entity to succeed. Update 90 also brings changes to the ARC and Mid-Ops battle passes, the retiring of legacy events, new sourcing for broken Desealing Rods, and the introduction of a new 7-day event series. The Battle Pass and Mid-Ops Battle Pass are being updated and will now run for 27 days with a 1-day gap between arcs. Also, Battle Pass overflow events are being removed, and rewards like Ultra Recruit tokens, Premium Recruit tokens, and Broken Desealing Rods will now be in the free track of the ARC Battle Pass. Both Battle Passes are being complemented by a 3rd lane. Alongside the existing tracks, a new Mythic track will offer exclusive high-value rewards to further support progression. Players can choose between multiple purchase options. The $20 option unlocks the Elite track, the $50 option unlocks both the Elite and Mythic tracks. A $100 Premium option includes Elite and Mythic access along with additional rewards. Players who purchase the Elite track can upgrade to Mythic at any time by paying the difference. All ARC Battle Pass and Mid-Ops Battle Pass purchases will now include a 28-day rentable build queue. This activates upon purchase and provides additional utility throughout the pass duration. The Flash Pass will also be retired starting in Update 90. Broken Desealing Rod sourcing will remain free but will be moved to other areas of the game. Overall, sourcing has been improved, especially for free-to-play players. Update 90 delivers a more cooperative, strategic, and rewarding experience with Duo Wave Defense. It also introduces updates to the battle passes and events designed to streamline progression, increase reward value, and provide more flexibility. Good luck out there, Commanders. Hit it!
Hit it! Hit it, everybody! Hit it! All right.
What am I hitting?
I don't know, your head against a brick wall. All right, listen. We're going to
waves.
Hey, Matters. Sorry. Matters sent me a message. He was like, I guess you forgot your sticky note this time. Yes, it's because I've got Tarpy over on Twitch. I forgot the sticky note. All right. Now, here's the deal. Listen. Now, chat is being very critical. Allow me to be an influencer properly. Okay? And when I say properly, I mean not a shill, but not just somebody who's just going to poop on everything. All right? There's one or two things that I actually really like. Okay? One or two. A couple of things that I really, really like. Okay? But most of this feels weird. All right? And we're going to go through it. And I'm going to answer a lot of the questions that you guys had. Okay? I'm going to answer a lot of the questions because I saw a lot of questions that you guys had in the chat as we go along, and I'm going to give you answers to all of it. Okay? Everything. So as we go through, if you had a question, if there was a comment, then bring it back up as we go through. And I'm going to answer these things for you because there was a lot. Also, congratulations to Hammy, who is finally listening to his optometrist and blinking a little bit more. That is good for future eye health. Congratulations to Hammy. 4 blinks this video. 4.
When did you want the questions? Sorry, you want them right away?
I would prefer. Okay, Matters, you get 1 question to start with. 1.
Okay, good. Well, I was trying to ask before the movie started, but someone wasn't listening.
I was not.
So you had said the Junker's no good. Hey, Tarpy, how you doing? I heard you say hello, Tarpy, so you saw that I was here. But anyway, that's beside the point.
Until after.
Oh, I thought you said "Hey, Matters" at some point right before the video started.
No, nobody was talking to you.
Okay.
But anyway, continue.
Okay. So you said that the Junker's no good here. It doesn't work. It's just the beam that doesn't work on the hostiles,
Correct.
right? Because it has a lot of boost against wave defense.
Does it? Does it? Let's talk about that, okay? Let's talk about that. Does the Junker actually have boost for all wave defense? Yikers. Let's take a look. Nope. Increases Apex Shred against solo wave defense hostiles. Uh-oh. Spaghettios. Increases base damage against Apex Raiders in solo wave defense. Spaghettios. All right, no go.
You know what does have
Junker,
general wave research, though?
What does have general wave research?
The aggregation tree.
The aggregation tree. There you go, okay? More with the Dauntless and all the aggregation stuff over there, okay? Now, here's the deal. So, Junker, no go, all right? And I'm going to come back to this video because there is one hostile that the Junker will work against. It's not the hostile that anybody's going to have any issue with. Let's go and proceed.
Howdy, Commanders.
Howdy.
Update 90 Starfleet Academy brings with it a new expansion of wave defense. Available to Commanders.
Let's start right here, okay? First of all, a lot of hostiles. And I'm going to point out that 58 is not real. It's actually 50, okay? It's 50. It's going to start with 50. However, one thing will carry forward, Matters, and that's the prime that increases hull health points to your central entity. Okay, so that's right, Andy. That's why we see 58 on the screen, because the 2 people that came in and participated in this both had the prime, and it added points to the central entity. Okay, it starts out. By the way, what does it add? 4 or 3? Now I've forgotten.
It added 2 per person in the playtest, so
2 per person. So it might have started at 54. Might have started at 54 then. No, it is 3. It is 3. JG Nasty said it's 3. So this started at 52. And the reason I remember kind of thinking that, but then I couldn't remember it exactly, was like, 52 card pickup. Okay, that's what I was thinking. You got 52 cards before you go boom. Okay? Now, Narf said it's only 2. It's only 2? Well, then it might be 54, but you count the jokers.
yeah, it was It was 2 per person in the playtest, but that doesn't mean they haven't changed things, because if you look right at the bottom, things could change.
Well, yeah,
So,
but I don't think that's
and
going to be
it's-
one of them. The prime we know
Yeah.
is going to work, and I'm pretty sure. I was thinking that the waves started with 50, but it can't be 50. It had to have been 54. Anyway, there's a lot of them. But now, why is there a lot of them? Okay, we're going to go through and we're going to take a look at these different hit points here in a second. And for the record, the hit points are not anything you need to remember. Okay, you do not need to think about remembering which ones have hit points. In my opinion, maybe if you're going to let some through, but there actually was a change made from this video that is not present in this video that they did change, which I actually liked, and I'll explain that to you in just one moment. Hang on.
Op 61 and above, Dual Wave Defense is a new action-packed cooperative mode where 2 commanders join forces to battle waves of Academy training drones, combat drones, repair drones, and Venari Rall hostiles.
I have to point out that in their own playtest video, the cube is broken. I just want to point it out. I want you guys to watch this cube over here at 9 o'clock. And I want to watch the fact that it doesn't move, but it just keeps killing things.
Defense is a new action-packed cooperative mode where 2 commanders join forces to battle waves of Academy training drones, combat drones, repair drones, and Venari Rall hostiles. Dual Wave Defense encounters are located in training sim systems throughout Academy space and can be accessed using simulation code.
Did finally move. All right. What do the
What's
shields?
the name on that cube?
It says Laura Thok.
Interesting.
Interesting. All right, now here's the thing, Lord of Ruins. What do the shields mean? I'm glad you asked. All right, this is something that they added, which I do like. This is why you don't have to remember stuff. All right, the things with the single shield do the least amount of damage. 2 shields do medium damage, and then the 3 shields do the maximum damage. So take a look at what these are. You got the Academy training drone, okay, which, by the way, your junker is good against. Then you've got the combat drone, which has 2 shields, okay? It's going to layer out some more hit points. And then the Venari Rall, okay? Those are the big hit points. So, in other words,
once a run is
as I am letting these hostiles through,
gravitational blast.
Trying to find where he talked about the points.
This is of critical additional effect. All hostiles
Here we go.
Even greater threat. Not only do they share the critical training ability, but they also introduce additional disruptive effects to program the central entity for 4 points.
Here we go, right here. So this is the drone damage, okay? The training drones are going to do 3 damage. Combat drones are going to do 4. And Venari Rall are going to do 5. If one Venari Rall goes in and hits your central entity, it's going to take 5 hit points off. Okay? So, this is actually a nice thing. When you're looking through here, you don't have to remember, okay? You don't have to remember. You just go in and you hit them. Now, Lord of Ruin says no beam immunity on the training drones. That's correct. But the training drones only show up in the first wave. Okay? Waves 2 through 4 are going to be all combat drones and Venari Rall. So, the the training drones, you can use your junker against, and that's going to knock out a bunch of them. Okay? Now, let's come through and get caught up to where he talks about the repair drones. The repair drones, actually, from a game design perspective, they're kind of cool. Okay? They're kind of cool because it's a choice hostile. And I'm going to explain what that means here in just a moment.
Repair drones and Venari Rall hostiles. Dual Wave Defense encounters are located in training sim systems throughout Academy space and can be accessed using simulation codes. Once a run is started, 1 additional player can join, and both players can bring up to 2 ships into the encounter. It's important to note that all...
Now, we're going to take a look here. Trying to find... I still don't see a repair drone in this particular screenshot, so we're going to keep going. But nonetheless, what you see, again, in this screenshot, okay, training drones, that's going to be 1 shield, 3 points. Okay, 3 damage against the central entity. 2 shields, 4 points. 5 points against the Venari Rall, which is down here, that have 3 shields. All right, those are the big bads. All right, continue.
Hostiles and Dual Wave Defense drop FKR faction rep. Another key tip is that while training drones are susceptible to the GS-31's gravitational blast, combat drones, Venari Rall, and repair drones are immune. All ship...
Let's back up just 1 second and take a look at this currency right here. By defeating waves, you guys are going to earn the 3 currencies, which we're going to start talking about here in just a moment. Those currencies are engineering credits, science credits, and command credits, just like badges. Okay? Just like badges.
Sigma badges?
Sigma-ish. Okay? Sigma-ish. All right. Now, Lord of Ruin says, smells like we're going to have to math out every wave and figure out an order of hostiles to kill and which to leave and just memorize that. You could do that. That is certainly a strategy. I don't know. That seems like a lot. I'm just going to kill what I can kill, right? But some of them are harder than others, and we're going to talk about the abilities here in just a moment because, all right, Matters is going to have to get to work on officer crewing. All right, let's take a look here.
Nah, you're all on your own.
All ship classes of dual wave defense hostiles have the critical training ability, which...
Okay. There are 3 different ship types that are coming in. Okay? 3 different ship types that do 3 different types of damage and have 3 different sets of abilities. Yikers. Okay? 3 different sets of abilities. For example, we're taking a look at this Academy training drone. It is an Explorer. Okay? Matters, jot this down. I need a napkin. Okay? Here you go. Critical hit chance increases by 1,000%. Critical hit damage by 5,000%. Critical floor, 5,000%. Okay? By the way, this means you are not getting their critical... In other words, they are firing 100% crit chance at you at a 5,000% crit damage. And their crit damage floor is also 5,000. In other words, there is absolutely 0 that you're going to do affecting their crit. Matters, if I was asking you straight off the top of your head, if there is absolutely nothing I can do about crit chance or damage, what is the first thing that I'm going to think about doing?
Not bringing Trip Tucker.
Not bringing Trip Tucker. Gimnon says kill them fast. Okay, cool. I like that. What are we going to bring? What are we going to bring? Sasquatch is on the right track. He says mitigation. A Powell and Berlin have the correct answer, as does Stefan. Apex barrier. Apex barrier. And a brand new damage mitigation this month, everybody.
Oh, goody. I love when they add more of those in.
You're way more excited than I am.
All right. No.
What's with you?
Here's the thing. It's funny to me. All right. Juby says, can we call it Super Apex Barrier? Nope. We're going to call it something that we've already...
Amex barrier?
Amex barrier, sure. We're going to call it something that actually has already got this name in the game, and we just forgot about it.
Oh, dear. Oh, Jesus.
Introducing the second iteration of true critical mitigation. And by the way, if anybody actually remembers this, true critical mitigation actually already exists in PvP. You guys remember? True critical reduction already exists because it reduces by a net figure. It reduces your opponent's critical damage. So that already exists.
But only in PvP so far, right?
PvP,
So there's
correct.
nothing that should have worked against this.
That's right.
Okay, good.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a true critical mitigation, and works against these specific hostiles anyway. Guffa says, so what is a damaged floor if it's not a floor? But indeed it is, Guffa. They're throwing critical damage. But think of it like Apex. Think of it like damage and Apex barrier. You're going to throw all the damage. Then the barrier is going to bounce some of it off. It's going to mitigate some of it out. Okay? So with this critical damage floor, the reason that they're doing this is that you cannot reduce critical damage below the 5,000%. But who says we can't mitigate it? All right. And by the way, you can do that with standard mitigation. You can do that with Apex Barrier, and you're going to be able to do it with the brand new ability, which is true critical mitigation. All right. Which is going to take that 5,000%, however much you have, and mitigate some of it off. All right. And we're going to give you a graphic coming up tomorrow on where that falls. The content creators, the data guys particularly, have already been super busy in trying to figure out how this works. We've got a graphic. We know where it's going to go. We know how it's going to behave, and they've already mathed out where it is in the formula. So we're going to be able to tell you that. Anyway, continuing on, this is critical training. Now, I do want to point out that all three hostiles have this ship ability. All three are going to have the critical damage boost and the critical damage floor.
Means they have increased critical hit
all of them. They all have critical training.
Damage and critical damage floor. This means that all hostiles
we just went through it super quick, okay? And I don't know how many we're going to get. Here's the unique ability about each of these, Tarpy. The explorers can only be damaged by isolytic damage.
Okay.
And on the explorers, they will increase their isolytic defense by 1,000%. Ooh.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? Matters. There's two damages or two abilities that we've got to bring. Chat, what are they? Big cascade, sure. And what else? PvE Apex Shred. Balabom's got it. Yes. Shred. Okay. By the way, that's only against the explorers. It's only against the explorers. Let's continue.
Floor. This means that all hostiles in dual wave defense are capable of dealing massive amounts of critical damage.
Yeah.
Combat drones have critical training along with an additional effect. They apply hypothermic decay for 1 round at combat start.
Come on, click it.
Commanders should be aware that these...
Here we go. Okay. The interceptors are the combat drones. All right. So again, let's remember, training drones, explorers, isolytic only. By the way, those are also able to be hit by a junker beam. You've got the interceptors.
So someone had said Apex Shred in only against the explorers, but that's not right because they don't have Apex Barrier. They have isolytic defense. Apex Shred isn't going to do anything against.
I said that wrong, didn't I? I did say that wrong. Oops.
Yeah.
Crap.
I just wanted to make sure that was.
Yeah. Thank you.
Pointed out.
Yeah. Thank you. Matters. See, that's why Matters is the officer expert, not me. Okay. Ding, ding, ding. Yep. Sorry about that. Sorry, Sugar Red. My fault. Now, the interceptors. The interceptors have that same critical training ability. So all the big critical damage, critical floor, critical chance. Okay? But their ability is that they can only be damaged. This is the same thing, Tarpy. All right, hang on. I'm going to go forward a little bit.
And require more strategic planning.
Hang on.
The Venari Rall hostiles present an even greater threat. Not only do they share the critical training ability, but they also introduce additional disruptive effects through programmable matter. At the start of each...
Okay, this is actually different than I remember. And that's okay, by the way. I didn't write this piece down, Tarpy. It looks like all of the hostiles can only be damaged by isolytic and have extra isolytic defense, but then the Venari Rall also apply an 8% hull strip right at the very beginning.
Yes.
Okay. I thought that the battleships had their own ability too, but it's not. It was training drones, combat drones, Venari Rall, right? Now, Lord of Ruins says they're issuing guaranteed damage, which I'm sure we can buff against from some source. You are correct. And you don't have to pay for it, which I know that's what we were all just now thinking. Okay, I know that we were all thinking that they were going to sell something. At least not this month. Okay, here you go, Tarpy. This is where the combat drones came in. Andy, this is where you've got a little bit of choice. Okay, 8%. That's right. So if you killed 12 ships, then you're dead. Savage Darkness says, well, duh, you don't have to pay for it, but FOMO is expected. No, not necessarily. This is where the health repair drones come in. So this, by the way, I like. Canine Tooth? No. He says bring a 1.5 trillion ship and kill everything. Nope, because hypothermic decay is percentage based. So it doesn't matter how big your ship is, you're still stripping 8%. Okay? Sugar Red says hit the right drone, get a buff. You're exactly right. Here's where the repair drones come in. The repair drones have two abilities. The repair drones are either going to add hit points back to the central entity, or you kill it and you get immunity against hypothermic decay. Now, J-Babe said, as I said, too much thinking. I don't know if this is too much. I kind of like this particular piece. Okay, I don't mind this particular piece. Shawty says, kill one repair drone, let the rest hit the entity. That's fair, but remember, you've got yourself and a teammate. You each have 2 ships, and there are only 4 repair drones that will come along the entire game, the entire match. Okay, how long does the immunity last? Not long, Tarpy. I'm pretty sure it was, what, 60 seconds? It should be enough to get you through. It was either 60 or 90 seconds, and I think it was enough to get you through. Let's see if we can find it here.
They reduce player weapon damage and fully drained shields for 1 round. At combat start, they also apply hyperthermic decay to the hull. Repair drones, or surveys, also have the critical training ability, but that's not all. The repair drone's other ability is nano hull defense. If destroyed by the player, all of your ships in the wave defense encounter...
Here you go. Now, listen, I interrupted him at the wrong spot. Listen carefully.
If destroyed by the player, all of your ships in the wave defense encounter gain hyperthermic stabilizer, making them especially effective against combat drones, but not against the Venari Rall hostiles, which are immune.
He said that backwards, didn't he? Tarpy, let's go back again. Hypothermic decay.
That sounds right.
Hypothermic decay was on the Venari Rall, wasn't it?
And the combat drones. It's on both.
Hypothermic decay is not on the combat drones. It's only on the Venari Rall.
Are you sure? I think you've only looked at the training drones and the Venari Rall.
Here's a combat drone. By the way, Canine Tooth, are you silly enough to believe that your Recon Locust building was going to work against these things? Come on now. Come on now. Okay? So here's a combat drone that does not have hypothermic decay. I'm 90% sure that Hammy just said that wrong. Let's go back and listen here again. Here's a combat drone that does not have the hypothermic decay. My notes indicate that the Venari Rall were the only ones with hypothermic decay. I think Hammy just said that wrong. Because here's the ship ability for a Venari Rall.
They could both be wrong.
Well, the combat drones don't have them.
Okay. I was saying, the blog post says that it does.
Okay, let me.
So I thought
the blog post says that combat drones have
hyperthermic decay. They're the same as the training drones plus hyperthermic decay. And then the Venari Rall apparently also have hyperthermic decay, but they also drain your shields, I guess. And he just said it drains your shields completely in one round.
Let's listen back. I want to listen to this again. Hang on one second.
Challenge and require more strategic planning. The Venari Rall hostiles present an even greater threat. Not only do they share the critical training ability, but they also introduce additional disruptive effects through programmable matter. At the start of each round, they reduce player weapon damage and fully drain shields for 1 round. At combat start, they also apply hyperthermic decay to the hull. Repair drones, or surveys, also have the...
Yeah, so He did not say that about combat drones. I'm going to go back and listen again. He said it about Venari Rall.
Capable of dealing massive amounts of critical damage. Combat drones have critical training along with an additional effect. They apply hypothermic decay for 1 round at combat start.
Damn it.
Commander should be aware that these enemies present a much greater challenge and require more strategic planning.
Okay.
The Venari Rall hostiles present an even greater threat. Not only do they share the critical training ability, but they also introduce additional disruptive effects in programmable matter. At the start of each round, they reduce player weapon damage and fully drain shields for 1 round. At combat start, they also apply hyperthermic decay to the hull. Repair drones, or surveys, also have the critical training ability, but that's not all. The repair drone's other ability is nano hull defense. If destroyed by the player, all of your ships in the wave defense encounter gain hyperthermic stabilizer, making them especially effective against combat drones, but not against the Venari Rall hostiles, which are immune. Training drones deal...
Jesus God. Okay. So that is a little different. That is a little different than the way, at least the way I interpreted it during playtest. So here's what we're looking at, okay? We're looking at...
Your tooltips in here are messed up, too.
Yeah, the tooltips are
so
not
they might
correct.
have been during your playtest as well.
Yeah, the tooltips are not correct in this video, but that's okay. All right. But here's what we're hearing. We're hearing that combat drones have the critical damage boosts and the floor, and they have hypothermic decay. Venari Rall have the same critical abilities and the hypothermic decay and reduce your damage and drain your shields. Okay? When you kill a combat, a repair drone, and by the way, here's another slight misinformation that I heard that I picked up on. If you kill a repair drone, it only affects your 2 ships, but it will give you hypothermic stabilizer. It does not give it to your partner. Yes. I remember asking that question specifically. It only works for your 2 ships, which means that if both of you want hypothermic stabilizer, you both have to kill 1 repair drone. And then there's only, I think, 2 left in the entire match. Okay? How many Venari per wave can you let some through? We did not. So I did count. Okay? Can I solo this? Not a chance in hell. Nope. Sorry. Not happening. Too many hostiles. And Strider was asking that same thing. How many Venari per wave? I know that Lube is already working on a new desk mat. We actually counted them all. So we did. I don't have those counts in front of me. All right. This was a lot of hostiles, and we did get data on that, but I don't remember how many the actual count was. Now, stop making noise matters.
Oh, my bad. There's a plane. Come on. Okay,
now, let's look at the blog post. You guys are saying there's an inconsistency in the blog post, so let's double check and see. Cruzito said the video is wrong or the blog is wrong or both. So with what? With what specifically? Show me what point that you're talking about. Okay, all hostiles drop reputation. Training drones can be used against the junker. Combat drones, Venari Rall, repair drones are immune. We knew that. All enemies have critical training with extra damage, chance, and floor. Training drones, that's it. Combat drones have hypothermic decay. We know that. Venari Rall has extra hypothermic decay and the player weapon reduction and draining shields. And then repair drones grant hypothermic stabilizer, which helps counter the hypothermic decay applied by combat drones. If left alone, they reach the central entity and heal it instead. Okay, so that is so far consistent with what we said. If they reach the central entity, a training drone does 3, combat 4, Venari 5, repair drones will heal it at 4. We also said that. So, where is the discrepancy here so far? Because so far there's nothing discrepancized. There's nothing discrepancized based on what we said here so far.
So I think what they're saying is Gobbler is saying that the tooltip on the video seems wrong.
I concur.
So
I concur. I think that it is. The tooltip on the video is wrong. The blog and the video and Hammy's verbiage is correct, but the tooltip is wrong. Now, can it go above the start amount of the central entity? Yes, it can. Okay. And the question is, I saw this question. Can I just let all the Venari Rall go through? No, because there's going to be too many.
You might not have a choice to, and there's going to be strategy for a lot of this.
Oh yeah, because of the number of hostiles
what your
and
ships
so forth.
Are.
Yeah, and there's multiple levels of this too. It's not just there's not just two, like a 40 and a 50, like they did before. All right. Question, can you let the repair drone just go through and hit the central entity, giving you the extra? You can, but then you don't have the hypothermic stabilizer, okay? And that, as we determined in the playtest, is going to be relatively important, okay? So if I'm not mistaken, and don't hold me to this, I think there were only 4 repair drones that appeared throughout the entire battle. One of them has to be killed.
Yeah.
One of them has to be killed by you.
Don't quote me.
One of them has to be killed by your partner, and then you can let the other 2 go through. Okay? So, yeah, there's that. All right. Will the building help with waves? I don't recall. We didn't do much with the building. There wasn't a lot on the building. I don't remember what the building abilities were. But even if we did, we can't talk about those yet today.
Can't tell you.
Yeah, can't tell you about those yet today because we didn't talk about the building. Anyway, so that is going to be the strategy there. All right. At least based on what we discovered in our very short period of play, is that you're going to want to, you kill one, your partner kill one. That will cover all 4 ships with stabilizer. And then you've got to let the other 2 hit your central entity. Okay. Andy says you're going to need some good coordination. I think the 2 of you are going to need to be on the same page. But I don't think it's going to be as complicated as 4 or 5 players. You know what I'm saying? I don't think there's going to be that much. Shiz says the building buff show in the video. Okay, we'll get there in a minute. All right. So the central entity. I think that there would be. You just need to be on the same page, right? You're just going to have to be in the same page, and your partner and you are both going to need to kind of agree, if this remains the strategy, to kill one repair drone and let the others go through. I know that it will make me upset if I see my partner kill all 4 of the repair drones. Like, that'll piss me off. Right?
Yeah. One of the things with this is it's a group wave too. So the first week or 2 of this content, if you are running the wave, you might want to coordinate with someone on Discord or something like that, because there will be people jumping in waves.
Yeah. Now, you'll be able to kick them out just like last time, but yeah, you'll be able to kick them out. Is it alliance mates only? No, it is server wide, Benny Hill. So you can play with anybody on your server.
Waves.
Yes, you can play with anybody.
A max of 2 people
on your server. Not open to the entire server. It's not in the veil. It is on your server, so you can't play. You can't play there. Sasquatch says, "What about the Dauntless? The Dauntless will work. I just think the Dauntless is going to die a horrible, painful death." Okay?
Isn't it deactivated in waves?
Was it? I don't remember that either. I don't know. Let's keep watching.
Deal 3 damage to the central entity, combat drones deal 4, and Venari Rall deal 5.
Yeah.
Repair drones, on the other hand, heal the central entity for 4 points if they reach it. Defeat training drones to earn training merits. These can be refined into engineering credits, which can be used to acquire key resources like
I hate this part. I hate this part. We'll come back to the search and destroy thing here in a second. I don't think that it's going to... I can't remember. I doubt that it would work, but I think that the Dauntless would fail miserably anyway.
It doesn't work. The seek and destroy doesn't work in waves.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. All right. So here's the deal. This is what I hate. I'm going to try to explain these currencies to you because this is where it gets really messy. All right. If you thought the hostiles were messy, the currencies are really messy. Okay. So in a wave, you are going to earn 3 types of currency: engineering credits, command credits, science credits. There are also hostiles that you're going to earn these field pass. No, let's see. That's not it. Training merits. You're also going to. Are we saying too much? Have we talked about those?
It talks about it in the blog.
Okay,
So far,
good.
you haven't really gone past, but
All right.
you might.
No. So training merits come from hostiles. Okay, that's this little shuttlecraft looking thing. Okay,
Outside of the wave.
Outside of a wave. That's right. Just normal routine grinding. These training merits can be converted into engineering credits and engineering credits only, which I hate.
Okay. So what did you just say about the training merits and where they came from?
They came from hostiles
That you
outside
said
of wave defense.
Okay. So, chat, is the wave the only thing that you're getting this month with what was just stated?
What?
Just saying.
I have no idea what you just said. All right. So I don't know what is happening right now.
How many grinds do you have this month? That's where I was going.
Oh, well, listen, wave defense is not a grind. Okay? Wave defense is not a grind because you're only going to be able to start one of these very seldom. All right?
Thank you, Tabby Moza.
Yeah, there you go. She said more than waves are coming.
What
Thank
I'm
you.
saying.
All right. So there's going to be hostiles. They did not mention new hostiles in the video. Matters, are you trapping me right now? All right, hang on.
What?
Defeat.
Well, no, I'm just reading the blog
drones.
post. It's very clear. Like, you get training merits. Like, it tells you that from the wave, you get engineering credits, you get science credits, and you get command credits. And engineering credits can be used to get the simulation codes that you need to run the waves.
Yeah.
But also, you can kill Academy training drones to earn training merits to turn into engineering credits. So obviously, that is the sourcing for the wave launches.
There you go. Matters
Clear
is
based
correct.
on the blog post.
Matters is right.
It's not,
and that's how it's going
really
to work.
hidden that. They just haven't said it
Those are the
bluntly.
Yeah, I was going to say that's the words in the blog post because I was reading the blog post as you were saying that, but translating the blog post from Scopely to people.
Well, I did it, and I don't have an NDA, so they don't have to worry.
All right.
I'm the one that said it. I'm not NDA'd.
Okay, so it's fine. This is what I don't like. And J Babes, this is going to say this is where it comes in with too much thinking, and right here I kind of agree. All right. Right, don't they normally make a preview blog post for the art? Yeah, that's what we're looking at, bro. Right here. All right, now listen. Yeah. So killing the hostiles gets you training merits. Okay. You can redeem training merits for engineering credits. Engineering credits can then be redeemed for simulation codes, which are wave defense starts. Okay? And you're also going to use the engineering credits for class honors. That is the building material, Sigma resources, and rare Section 31 transmitters, which we're going to talk about in a minute. Okay? Here we go. The engineering credits are for your starts.
America Shield.
Kind of. Not really. Can I just buy a pack? Says J Babes. That's what they want. That's what they want.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I know. Star Ocean says building material for a new building? Sounds crazy. I know. That's exactly correct. Now, the simulation codes, which you're spending engineering credits to acquire, are your directive starts for duo wave defense. And that's where players can earn additional engineering, science, and command credits. All right, so here's the loop. Kill hostiles, get training merits, redeem into engineering credits. Engineering credits then are being spent on directive starts, building materials, and later on, Sigma resources and Section 31 transmitters.
Rare Section 31 transmitters.
Rare Section 31 transmitters. Okay? Now, Silver Tab says, why the intermediary currency? Just give us engineering credits. Well, no, that's not nearly as confusing. Because then,
not good enough.
once you do the wave defenses, you're going to earn more engineering credits, then science and command credits. Okay? The science credits can be exchanged for materials. Fine. That's great. Command credits are going to unlock the Starfleet Academy officers and officer laurels. Woody, thank you for dropping a 5-bomb. Now, the Cruzado said that actually was so much clearer than all the stuff before. The blog post actually looks better than the video, which doesn't normally happen, but we're going to come back to the video. But the blog post has actually been pretty clear, okay? Now, here is, Andy says, what the heck is a command laurel? I'm going to read this to you very carefully. Listen. Class honors are used to upgrade the Starfleet Academy remote campus. That's your building material, which we talked about up here. It doesn't say what laurels are.
No, it doesn't explain them.
Didn't they say video?
Okay, let's go back to the video. Let's make sure before I get ready to ruin everybody. Before I ruin everybody's day. Okay, hang on.
Training merits.
Hold on. No,
These
go back
can be
to that.
refined
Go
into
back to that
engineering
Tooltip.
credits.
What?
No, go back to the screen that you had right before you hit play.
Okay, just wait.
It showed the.
I got it. Wait.
info.
But not against the Venari Rall hostiles, which are immune. Training drones deal 3 damage to the central entity, combat drones deal 4, and Venari Rall deal 5. Repair drones, on the other hand, heal the central entity for 4 points if they reach it. Defeat training drones to earn training merits. These can be refined into engineering credits, which can be used to acquire key resources like simulation codes, class honors, Sigma resources, and rare Section 31 transmitters. Simulation codes are used to enter duo wave defense to earn additional engineering, science, and command credits. These currencies expand reward options and progression paths. Science credits can be exchanged for G6 and G7 materials, while command credits provide access to Academy officers and officer laurels. Also,
Okay, this is what Tarpy was saying right here, and it says exchange credits for Starfleet Academy officers and officer laurels to upgrade them.
There it is.
There it is.
Is that like a tier-up material, or is that a new officer? Is that Sigma Officer XP? All right, okay, never mind. You can't answer that question.
Purple is my answer. Purple.
Gotcha. All right.
I want you guys to imagine the worst possible use of a new currency within upgrading officers. You hear Strider laughing in the back. I want you to imagine the worst.
Husband, shut up.
All right. I want you to imagine the worst possible outcome when it comes to upgrading officers with officer laurels. And it might be that. All right. Yes, Chef says teal.
I said shut up.
Okay.
Just.
Fisty says this is truly horrible. Lord Ascarin says probably a promotion material, yet more officers that sit unupgraded. Cruzito says maybe a new badge. Ginmon says sounds like new independent credits.
Look, if you don't have the officers yet, who cares?
That's true.
Right?
And if they're garbage, then who cares even after you get them?
Right. If you don't know what they do, and you don't, they might be complete poo. And then who cares if you don't have laurels to upgrade them?
Listen, we're used to this. It happened with the away team officers, the walk officers. It happened just this past month. We've got to have we've got to have the Maverick credits to upgrade officers. Why do you guys think that that is unexpected or a bad thing?
It's the new. I think it's the new normal going forwards because now there's a generation of players who no longer use faction credits for anything at all. and so they can't come out with officers that need faction credits because G7 players are just getting faction credits constantly with nothing to spend them on. So they can't really just keep having that as a upgrade currency. So eventually we'll have G7 plus officers that use Sigma faction credits, maybe, but
Hush.
they need to be
I
creative in the
don't
meantime.
like that idea.
Why do they need Sigma faction
Well,
credits?
we're going to get there.
Well, yeah, I don't know why you would need Sigma faction credits when you have officer laurels instead.
Right, exactly. There we go. We'll just have officer laurels.
Matters. I'm going to find an even bigger fish now. Because if you just gave them that idea,
I doubt I gave them that idea. I mean, it's the smart play on their side is to make the officers compete with everything else that you have to buy.
matters.
Until sourcing of the Sigma's faction credits gets so high and whatever that people have bajillions of them, and then they gotta start using like in-loop currencies again, like they are now, as they move towards gamma credits.
You know what? I take it back. Maybe it's not based off what you guys are writing in chat. Maybe this is not the absolute worst thing. What they're planning on doing with these laurels. Okay, no,
better than
Thank you,
Sigma
Matters,
faction
for
credits.
making something.
listen. In all
We need
fairness,
that right now.
in all fairness, what you guys are talking about in chat is actually not as bad, or is actually worse than what they're doing. I thought you guys would hate this, but you guys are coming up with even worse ideas. So that's fine. Okay.
Well, you said
There's
think of the
400
worst
people.
possible use.
Okay, that's
That's
fair.
what they're
I
doing.
did say that, didn't I? I did say that. I said think of the worst possible outcome. Well, the good news is, everybody, it's
We're
not
very
as
good at that here.
it's not as bad as you think it is. Okay? It's not as bad as you think it is. I thought it was, but you guys are even twistier than me. All right.
That takes effort.
I'm saying you guys are even more twisted than I am. All right. So anyway, all right. Commercial break is over.
That takes effort.
Yeah. let's continue.
Their laurels. Also available in the refinery are class honors, which are used to upgrade the Starfleet Academy remote campus.
Okay.
Further enhance.
Let's take a quick peek at what building material or building benefits we see here. We see 7-star building material cost efficiency. I like it. Okay. I like it. A Sigma refinery bonus. I like it. Okay. Let's continue.
And
Yeah. And too late. Go back a frame. Okay. Backing up a frame. Let's see what Shiz saw here. Academy drone critical mitigation. Love it. You know what? Thank you. Thank you, Shiz. Good. Here is our true critical mitigation. Okay. And now that we can see that it's a flat number and not a percentage, then I can tell you that we already know what the math formula is on this. Okay. This is a reduction of the critical damage that is being given by the drones in a format of Apex Barrier. Except, that's right, Lord of Ruins, very much like Apex Barrier, except they're using 50,000 as the base instead of 10,000. Okay? So, no,
great.
not a big deal. Not a big deal. Okay? So think about in Apex Barrier, 10,000 Apex Barrier is essentially the first 10,000 Apex Barrier. Essentially doubles your life, right? It's a 50% reduction of damage inbound. The second 10,000, right, is a little bit less because it becomes a stacking thing. So now it's 67% reduction and so forth and so on. Critical mitigation, this true critical mitigation, is going to work in the exact same mathematical formula as Apex Barrier, but its mathematical basis is 50,000 instead of 10,000. Lord of Ruin says 50,000 means more budget so they can dole out more of the crit. Well, yeah, I gotta, that would have made sense. That would have made sense. Okay? Would have. But the building gets really, really big.
No, we need to.
Yeah.
Speaking of the building, what people seem to have skipped in the blog post, and I did double check that this was in the blog post before I said this arc is 61 plus.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is 61
so,
plus.
The fact that this building needs Sigma from the get-go is not a surprise if it's 61 plus. The fact that it has buffs for G7 is not a surprise for 61 plus. The fact that it has 7-star buffs at low levels is helpful for other players as well. So it means that you don't necessarily have to get it to level 40 or 50 or 60 to have it be a base value useful for anyone in G6 or G7.
Yeah.
Which actually is good.
So yeah,
well, I mean, it's good. It's good now for on arcfall, but going forward, when somebody gets to 61 a year from now and can build this new building and it gives them 7-star material reduction, then it's not until they get it to the point where you have to be up 71 to be able to upgrade it further.
But even so, that's the same for right now. But it's still good for anyone who's G7 when the building comes out.
Yes, true. It is good for the people who are G7 today, or will be in the very near future.
Yeah, so it's the same, and I understand what you're saying. It's not useful that way for G6 players, but we've often had the question of how is this useful for G7 for any number of packs before it's useful, and this is a decent answer to that.
So Polar Bear says they've already moved the goalpost already. I mean, if that's how you want to refer to it, but they have, this arc is 61 plus, which gets them into their 2 generations, which they have been saying for almost a year now. Tarpy was their goal, was to get the game within 2 active generations. To answer the question that will inevitably come, yes, the mid-ops experience has been expanded now up to Ops 60. So up 60 and down, we'll have a mid-ops experience this month. All right. So, yeah. Now, let's continue.
Starfleet Academy remote campus, further enhancing progression and rewards. Coordinate with your partner, prioritize targets, and protect the central entity to succeed. Update 90 also brings changes to the ARC and mid-ops battle passes, the retiring of legacy events, new sourcing for broken Desealing Rods, and the introduction of a new 7-day event series. The Battle Pass and Mid-Ops Battle Pass are being updated and will now run for 27 days with a 1-day gap between arcs. Also, Battle Pass overflow events are being removed, and rewards like
What?
Yep.
All right, relax.
No overflow.
Relax. All right. Yeah, Counselor Hef says, for the first time, I'm going to have a mid-ops experience. Yes, you will. Lord of Ruin says, have they nerfed broken Desealing Rods? No, they have not. Well, they say...
Let's see
they say...
what they come out with.
Yeah. That's exactly right. We have not seen the math. Okay? We don't know. They have said that they will be distributed in other ways throughout the month and will be increased in sourcing for free-to-play players. That is the claim. Okay? I have not seen the math. Okay? I have not seen the math. But here's the deal. We know that we're getting 720. We're getting 720 a month reliably. Reliably. So that's the number. It better be higher. Okay? And that's it. That's it, retrieving. Hopefully, remember both of the overflows. Flash Pass and regular Battle Pass is being removed. 720 per arc. You can't say per month anymore. Fair enough. Per arc. Okay? And actually, I got to be honest with you, retrieving. Truthfully, by removing the interim and doing the 28-day thing, depending on what they do with the Desealing Rod fragments, it actually solves that problem. It actually solves that problem. So hopefully it is increased from 720 per 28-day period. And if they source it in a way that is routine, it's actually going to... Actually, he did say more, Cruzito. So here, let's listen again.
And will now run for 27 days with a 1-day gap between arcs.
Yep.
Also, Battle Pass overflow events are being removed, and rewards like Ultra Recruit tokens, Premium Recruit tokens, and Broken Desealing Rods will now be in the free track of the Arc Battle Pass. Both Battle Passes are being complemented by a third lane. Alongside the existing tracks, a new Mythic track will offer exclusive high-value rewards to further support progression. Players can choose between multiple purchase options. The $20 option unlocks the Elite track, the $50 option unlocks both the Elite and Mythic tracks. A $100 premium option includes Elite and Mythic access along with additional rewards. Players who purchase the Elite track can upgrade to Mythic at any time by paying the difference. All ARC Battle Pass and Mid-Ops Battle Pass purchases will now include a 28-day rentable build queue. This activates upon purchase and provides additional utility throughout the pass duration. The Flash Pass will also be retired starting in Update 90.
Here it is.
Broken Desealing Rod sourcing will remain free, but will be moved to other areas of the game. Overall, sourcing has been improved, especially for free-to-play players.
There it is, Cruzito. Okay, there it is. So that is what we're gonna hone in on right there. Okay, increased or improved. Okay, Desealing Rod sourcing, and we're going to deseal. Yeah, and we're going to see it in places like the Battle Pass. Okay.
Now,
Like
improved doesn't necessarily mean more Desealing Rods, though. It could just mean that it's not as hard to get the same amount.
That is fair. That is fair.
So, with how it is right now to get to the end of the Battle Pass, DJs, how many times out of the last 6 to 12 months have you missed a day of your Battle Pass?
Every month. But
So how many times have you gotten your broken Desealing Rods without having to buy a points pack outside of the 2 months they've had that 3x day?
never. But the 3x day has been phenomenal for me. All right, I love that.
Yeah, that's
So-
been really good. So if they take the same number of Desealing Rods from the overflow and put them throughout the Battle Pass, does that not, in theory, increase the number of Desealing Rods that you end up with?
Me as an individual, yes, but I also see Matter's point where that would just simply be an improvement. And I see Cruzito's point in which he says improved sourcing, but not more. All right, so we do have to be careful with the terminology here.
So
that's
right.
No
And so I'm
retrieving.
saying
That is not gaslighting.
if they
That is not gaslighting by definition. All right, Cruzito is saying the same thing. This could just be an improvement in the way that they're sourced. He did say improved sourcing, not more. Easier to get, but not more is a possibility. So we're going to have to take a look and see what it is, okay, and see what that comes as.
That's what I was trying to say too. Is they literally, without doing anything else, if they just take the number that we already get for perfect engagement and spread it out, so 360 divided by whatever number, 2, 3, 4, who cares? You get 180 2 different times, then you get 180. If you're like DJs, you get 180 more than you had.
Fair.
Right? So, like, if they do nothing else and spread them out like that, that's still an improvement for some players.
All right. Now, I want to point out what you guys are talking about in chat right now. Everybody's going to be very, very fussy about this. Take a look. And no, it's not 3 paid tracks, Counselor Hef. You still have your free track. You still have your normal Gold Elite track, but they're adding a Mythic track. All right? So here's how this is going to break down. Okay, you still get your free track. Perfect. It lasts 27 days instead of 28. They're dropping the Officer Flash Pass. Okay? So you have a 27-day with a 1-day break between the arcs, so that's your normal 28-day cycle. 27 days on the regular Battle Pass, still free track. Officer Flash Pass and Battle Pass have allegedly been smooshed. Okay? That's right, Riskbreaker. They're not dropping the Flash Pass. It's combined, but that's what I'm saying. They're making it into one pass. And that, in and of itself, means, we're going to break this down by level. If they took free track Flash Pass and free track Battle Pass and mushed them together into one 27-day event, that means a true free-to-play is exactly even. Exactly even. Okay? Now, if you had paid $20 before, for the Elite track of the Battle Pass, and you had spent $10 on a Flash Pass, you're now actually saving $10 on the month. okay? Because the $20 battle pass is now combined also. All right? So the flash pass...
And if you're like me, where you pay the $20 for the battle pass, but you don't get the officer flash pass, well, now you just get more.
Exactly. That's exactly correct.
Great.
Okay? So the $20 is going to be combined. Now, what Tarpy wants to interrupt and say is, this is provided that the math holds, which we don't know yet.
Well, also that the rewards in the flash pass are officer tokens or officer shards and not materials and resources. So it depends on how they split it up.
Mm-hmm.
But yes.
Now, Andy is going to go back to the 13 arcs instead of 12. I rebuke that one, Andy, only because we've already had the conversation about 13 arcs versus 20, and that's fine. If you don't buy the $20 one, then you get a 13th free track. 13 arcs is completely fine. We've already done all this math. 13 arcs is beautiful, and I love it. Okay? And if you did buy the Flash Pass all 12 months, well, then you're actually saving $100 on the year, technically. Okay? Technically. So you got $20 on the gold, the elite path. Or now you can spend $50, okay, and get Mythic plus elite. All right? So $50 is going to unlock both the Mythic and the elite tracks. So here's what they've done here, depending on what this value looks like, okay? Depending on what the value looks like, they have added another $30 for this second track, which most of us have always said the $20 is a great value, right? $20 is a great value. So hopefully they've increased the value a little bit more and now said, okay, $30 for this second track is going to be just as valuable as the first $20, if not more so, right? Which is what it should be. Now, let's get to the elephant in the room, because I see what people are saying right now. I don't see choice rewards. You are correct. You do not see choice rewards. That's right, Andy. They put resources and materials back in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to have an interesting time on Tuesday. Because as Canine Tooth points out, excuse me, because we didn't see this part in the playtest. They only told us that the stuff was going away. But the $20 track is the traditional one. So the gold one in the middle is the traditional one.
Yeah, this is your 20.
And then, yeah, that's 20. And that's normal. So then on the bottom is $30. And what Canine Tooth points out is that the amount of Sigma resources that we see in the Sigma, or in the silver, my gosh, colors versus letters is really going to get me today. In the Mythic one is less than what you get in the $20 upgrade track. Now, what I'll immediately say in response to my own comment is the fact that, remember everyone, we always see only one of what they call verticals in these two rows. So DJs, if you switch to your own game and show us the flash pass,
what she's referring to
change what we're looking at.
Yeah, well, it won't change what we're looking at right now. All right, because
but it's looking at the value.
Yeah, what she's referring to is the fact that there's other rewards hidden behind the number. Okay, and what I mean by that is taking a look at this little plus sign. You open it up, and there's other stuff in there, and it's not going to show in the flash pass because they're terrible value. Let's take a look at the outpost pass, for example.
That is the two verticals, though. That is an officer shard plus another one, and the reason in the outpost pass they have the 150 twice is because that's the two verticals now for that particular thing.
One of the things that I'm going to point out is we also are not 100% sure what is going to fall into this Mythic track. For example, we see less resources in the Mythic as compared to the Elite, right? But we also see an identical number of, say, outpost control cores, all right, from the $20 to the $30. In other words, Canine Tooth is right to be worried that there's less value in the Mythic track based on what we see. What I am going to say at this particular moment is hold your horses, everybody, because this is from a test server and the values are not finalized, and we have already been told that we're getting the chart. We don't have it yet. We should have, but that is something that absolutely is going to happen. Tarpy is literally just awaiting that data for us to actually compile the chart of analytical comparisons. Okay? If that's the right word. So there could be more officer shards. There could be, it just depends, King Gaza. You're right. We don't know what the entire thing is yet. So we're going to have to see what it ends up being. But what we do know, all right, is that there's a $20 track and then an additional $30 track, making it a total of $50. Blyrish says it's $50, not $30. Yeah, but it's not a $50 independent purchase. Okay? So you can buy the middle track for $20. And then you can upgrade for $30 more to get the big track. Or from the beginning, you just buy the $50 one and you get both tracks. Okay? So that is the logic. That's how that's going to work.
And Tuesday, I'm going to be asking for people's willingness to put numbers in a spreadsheet for 61 plus, because I'm ops 71. I can only see my ops. So if Scopely doesn't get me that data, I'm going to be asking people for help. Just so that way we can do that full analysis and
we're going to get everything to you.
Make people feel better.
The big thing here is, as Cruzito points out, and a lot of you have, is that there are no choice tokens here, and that is not an error. There are no more choice tokens, at least not this month. All right. By the way, I am pretty sure I know why that is. They're never going to say it, but you guys know what it is, right? Come on.
Yeah.
You guys know what it is. I know what it is.
They announced?
Y'all know what it is. Yeah, of course. It's Alliance tournaments. 1,000%. They don't want you using them in Alliance tournaments. All right. So, you know, and I got to be, Pal says it's a lousy excuse. It's not really. All right. Because they actually came out like over a year ago and said that they didn't want us using choice tokens in Alliance tournaments, and then we rioted anyway. All right. If you guys will recall, the choice reward store would close before Alliance tournaments, and then we would demand that they reopen them. All right. So Vul said it's another middle finger to the players. You could look at that from two perspectives. One, yes, you could look at it as a middle finger to the players. Or you could look at it from the perspective of they wanted to do this a year ago. All right. And we didn't really stand for it, and now they're just doing it. All right. JB says, so should we riot again? Be my guest. I don't think it's going to do anything. All right. I don't think it's going to actually do anything, because they've not wanted Alliance tournaments and choice tokens to go together for over a year. So, and they've done it a couple of times, and then we fight. So, yeah, it's not gonna. Fisty's right. It's not gonna go over this time. They're not gonna revert it. All right. Cruzito says Alliance tournaments is one thing, but another factor is the G6 conversion, where everyone just buys Triton Crystal and then uses the conversion at 100% to get more ore and more gas. That is possible too. Even though that is limited, Cruzito, I'm sure that does happen, but I think the bigger thing is Alliance tournaments. All right. I think that's the bigger thing. Vahalan King says if they don't want us using them in Alliance tournaments, then close the store. Don't take our choice away. Yeah, if they close the store, then we would just scream for them to open the store. You know, I don't know.
So,
I don't know what the answer is, to be honest.
The other thing I want to remind people of, and everyone is welcome to change their minds, but when we first got choice tokens, everyone hated the idea of choice tokens because they felt they were being shafted.
They did. That was true.
And it took me 2.5 months of math and coming on this show before I was even a panelist and saying, guys, that's not what's happening. Granted, this was after they stopped having that fake premium on G6. But choice was good, and they're changing that either for now or for a while. There's probably bigger things we should fight, so long as the values of what they're giving us is still pretty reasonable.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Chad is mostly right. Wilson says, I've greatly enjoyed choice tokens, as have I. J-Babes accurately points out you can't please anyone or everyone these days. JB says, the community hates everything. Nakar says, I hate it when you say everyone. That is a fair point. There's always just one crowd. There's crowd A, and then there's crowd B. So, no, you're absolutely correct on that. But we'll have to see. And again, we will have to see what they actually do. And that is why I am reserving judgment on both of these tracks until I see the math. All right? I personally have no problem with them selling a Mythic track because the free track is still there. It's literally no different than a flash pass. If anything, here's my hope. Okay? Here's my hope. My hope is that the Mythic track gives me more resources and materials because I would rather have that than the officer flash pass. Okay?
So,
like, if we're looking at a 28-day, a 27-day thing instead of 20, and then we're replacing the flash pass, which has no resources and materials in it, then I'm kind of hoping that the Mythic track and it being 27 days is actually going to boost that income because I, like Matter said, I didn't really care for the officer flash pass at all. I rarely bought that. But if there's more resources and materials, I'm more likely to lean in on that direction, to be honest with you.
Just for scale of value for players, something that I'd like you to ask is, and Shiz is actually bringing up a good point in chat, is what happens if you go from 60 to 61 after the battle pass starts? So,
age-old question. Your battle pass is locked. And you guys know the answer to this. Your battle pass is locked. It always has been locked. It will not change.
So this won't just show up?
No. If you change during the arc, you're locked in. This is an event. Your points score. All right? So,
right. So then
that's never changed.
What has also happened before, as when you go into a new bracket, things show up.
Not a battle pass. That's never happened. Battle pass has never done that. Yeah, as a matter of fact, the battle pass actually locks a day or two before the arc actually starts. So
right, and we never narrowed down that time. So we should probably start suggesting now that anyone who is in the 59 to 60 range, if you want to be part of this battle pass,
yes, you better do it now. Press the button right now. Now,
and
Sugar Red,
and it might still be too late. We're not sure.
It might be too late. Don't know. Sugar Red says there is no between arcs anymore. Technically, 24 hours. 27-day battle pass, 1 day blank, and then a 28-day or 27-day battle pass. So, yeah, Cruzito, I mean, like,
Shiz,
right now. Right now.
Shiz, I see what you're trying to say, and that you've said it 4 times, that the pass links, but choice rewards were delinked. We understand.
Yeah, but the
that
battle
was
pass.
The nice thing about it.
Yeah, battle pass doesn't change. And now you're right. That's actually a good point. Because the choice tokens are going away, your resource and material income will not increase. Okay? It will not increase. The choice tokens did. The battle pass will not. So if you are going to increase, if you're going to increase your payout with the battle pass, then there's a hard cut right now. You're going to want to make sure you're doing it literally right now. And the biggest difference, as Shiz points out, is going to be on decade changes, right? If you're up 60, you want to be 61 before Monday or before Tuesday. If you're up 70, you want to be 71 like now, okay? Now, Tibbs, that is something that we actually just pointed out, that the third tier is lower. The only thing that I'm going to assume for the moment is that this is just because this is a test server image and it may not be right. But I am going to take that back up and ask about it because that would be weird, right? Here's $20 that gets you this. Here's $30 more and it gets you less. Like, that's weird.
Also, if you look at the little drop downs for each one, there are different numbers for what's in there, too.
Yeah,
so
no, it's less.
In the Mythic track.
It's less on the Mythic track. So, yeah. Andy says, DJs, can we win Mythic battle passes from you? I have no idea. I'll have to get in and find that out. I would imagine that is possible, Andy, because I've got a cash account with them. So, like, but it wouldn't be it. If I give away a battle pass, it's still going to be a $20 battle pass. And then you can upgrade from there. Now, that's one nice thing. That is one kind of nice thing here, Tarpy, is that they said anytime during that 27 days, if you want to go from the $20 pass to the $30 pass or to the $50 pass, you just got to pay the difference. All right. So if you win a free 21 from me, then you can get the Mythic for $30. Okay. So you can do that. And then as far as a paid pack, if you win a paid pack from me, Andy, then yes, I'm sure I can get you the $50 one. Okay. So, but if you win a regular battle pass, it'll just be the 20. But then, even then, you're getting $20 off if you want to upgrade to the $50 one. You'll get $30 discount. Let's see.
Can I just like regarding this the in this video and it looking like there's less in the Mythic track? Everyone needs to remember two very important things. One is that because it's a completely different track, it will have completely different things in it. You can see even right here, like the officers, you've got TMP Sulu in one, and you've got Ilya in the Mythic track. So there could be higher value items in the Mythic track, even if the resources and materials happen to be less. The other thing to think about is like the $20 battle pass has always been the best value for your money that you can buy, just simply because of how much you get. It's multiple $100 packs. So even if the $30 track happens to be not as much as the $20 track, that doesn't mean that the $30 track is a bad value. So what if you get $200 worth of stuff in the $30 track and $400 worth of dollars worth of stuff in the $20 track? It's still a smart buy to get the $30 track if you're a spender.
If the math holds, and we're going to figure that out. If it doesn't, then we'll figure that out too. But that is what we're going to do. So that's what I'm saying. I do hear and agree with what Matter says. The $20 track has always been the equivalent of roughly $200 throughout the month. So 30 could be less, but that would look weird, right? That would look weird. It still would have more value. So we're just going to have to see. All right. But that is what we're going to do once we get the data. We're going to break it out and look at the chart and see how it goes. In a perfect world, what this actually ends up being is the second battle pass that we always used to love. Now, Zeron says this is a bad thing. It's a bad thing. I don't think that it is. If they do this the way that I think that they're going to do, this is basically just now permanently giving us our second battle pass, which people used to love. How many of you guys used to say, can we get our second battle pass? Can we get it? And you guys would spend $20 on that. You know? Hi, Migots. No idea what's going on. We're talking about a video game. Hi, welcome. I saw you as a first-time chatter. I'm not a developer. There are developers in the chat. And I talk to them on occasion. So there's that. So anyway, we're going to see. I don't think, again, this battle pass thing, I don't think this is a bad thing as far as the structure of it. All right? Bad Gamer says, yeah, but we wanted a second pass that had choice tokens. Well, fair. Okay. Now there's no choice tokens. So we're going to have to see what the value ends up being and if it holds, which is exactly what I've said for 30 minutes now. All right. We're going to have to see if it holds. Spock says that was 20 for double and not 30 for less. Again, we don't know that it's less. This is from a test server. And I can tell you right now for certain that these values are different than what I have in my playtest. This is Hammy's video. These are different than what's in mine. But that was why we asked for the data. We do not know. Okay? Narrator, it is going to be less. We'll see. Okay? We'll see. We don't know. So that is something that we'll take a look at. But yeah, the choice tokens are out as well. Let's see what else we got in here.
The existing tracks, a new Mythic track will offer exclusive high-value rewards to further support progression. Players can choose between multiple purchase options. The $20 option unlocks the Elite track, the $50 option unlocks both the Elite and Mythic tracks. A $100 premium option includes Elite and Mythic access along with additional.
Can I actually tell you what I think, Cruzito? Nobody in the chat has said this yet. Nobody in the chat has said this yet. But
that they're dumping the majority of the $100 pack into the third battle pass and just basically giving you 3 options instead of 2?
No.
At the same
like they'll be less than the $100 pack?
Yes, Tarpy's got it. The same $100 is going to still be there, the exact same pack. And if this is incentivizing a $100 spend because you've got 20 for the track, but it comes nothing in the pack. You've got 100 in the pack that comes with a full pack plus the battle pass. Now that same 100 is still going to be the full pack, and you get both tracks. Yes, Cruzito. To me, Tibbs has got this exactly right. The $100 pack is actually going to be the best value. So that may be, Canine Tooth, why the Mythic, if the Mythic track has less value, that may be why. All right? Because they're probably trying to incentivize the $100 pack. All right? The $100 pack is going to include the 20 and the 30 and the $100 pack contents that you get when you buy the pack. And so if that were the case, now Tibbs is right, assuming it's still the full pack and they don't scale it down, which that would be insane. That would be really dumb if they did that. But if Tibbs is right and that's what it is, then that's why the Mythic track is there. It's to incentivize. And by the way, if they do that, then it's actually, what, a 30% increase in the $100 pack value.
Did you just said doo-doo.
Do. Okay?
Okay, baby shark.
Tibbs says, please start most sentences with, if Tibbs is right, please. I like the sound of that. You know, you're good. All right? You're absolutely right, though. You are absolutely right. This whole thing, we've spent all this time talking about the $30 track, but I saw this the other day. I'm curious if you did. Yes, what they're actually doing is incentivizing you to buy the $100 pack, because then your spend doesn't change and you're getting the Mythic track basically extra for no extra cost.
Do you want the tinfoil hat version?
Sure.
They recently have started giving out a lot more free battle passes than they used to, and they've noticed that they have a decrease in income, and now they want to get $30
that
from
is
people who
not
are getting free battle passes.
They're giving away like 40 or 50 battle passes as compared to 25 or 30. It's not that much more.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's not it. There's no way that's it. No way. Hey, Acorum asks a good question. This is a good technical question. If we buy or win the $20 track, does the $100 pack become $80 to purchase? No. Okay? If you win or buy the $20 track, the only upgrade option you have there is $30 for the Mythic, but the $100 pack goes away. All right? So, good question, Acorum. Thank you for asking that question. Brilliant question. All right. Let's
also,
yes.
If you win a battle pass from DJ's any other creator, it's the $20 one. It is not the $30
Yeah, we already said that. Yep.
Yeah, just being
and if you
want to, very clear.
If you want to upgrade to the $30 or to the $50 one, then you're only going to pay $30 difference. Okay. Acorum says, and you know what? You're right. That's another idea that I did not have. Acorum said this also could be a way for them to increase revenue, even from those who win a battle pass. That's fair.
That was my point.
Yeah, that's super.
That was my point.
Oh, well, then that was very convoluted. You should have just said that. I thought you meant.
I did.
No, for the people who win one, they're only getting the $20 pack. That's what we said.
Right, because then they can buy a $30 pack after that.
Well, that's true.
Another revenue that they were missing.
Yeah. Ari says DJ can just give us $100 packs. Nope. All right. Yeah, so I'm not going to go that route. Riskbreaker said, or Dr. Juby, listen, Dr. Juby is also usually relatively objective. He likes to be class clown, and I usually let him own that. But regarding the choice tokens, he says, I'm actually shocked it took this long. And he's right. I am also, we've all known this was coming. We've all known this was coming. From the day that they said they were rehashing Alliance tournaments, we all thought the same thing. We didn't talk about it. Okay? We didn't talk about it. I just threw my Lego separator that I like to chew on. Ow! I just banged my head on my Lego table. Okay. We all talked about it. Or we all thought about it. Nobody talked about it, but if that was something that you didn't think about, then yeah. Oh, yeah. Tibbs is right. The rebalance to Alliance tournaments definitely had something to influence on the choice tokens. 1,000%. 1,000%. All right, let's continue in this video because I think we're about done.
No rewards.
Let's see if we got anything else.
Players who purchase the Elite track can upgrade to Mythic at any time by paying the difference. All ARC Battle Pass and Mid-Ops Battle Pass purchases will now include a 28-day rentable build queue.
Okay.
That's ridiculous.
First of all,
But
I'm not opposed to it. It's more for the same price. I think rentable was a stupid choice of words. That was a stupid choice of words.
Was he supposed to say it goes away after the 27 days?
Make it an EXO. Make it a 20.
Temporary is the word.
Temporary.
But that still means temporary.
I get it, but rentable has a bad connotation. I don't like
Makes it
rentable.
sound like you have to pay for it on top of getting
Well,
the battle
you
pass.
are.
Riskbreaker said it actually was a good choice of words because you are renting it for the cost of the battle pass. And maybe so. But I don't like that terminology. Okay? I don't like that terminology. I would just like to say, hey, for 30 days or 28 days, you get an extra builder. Now, maybe there's a legal thing here because you guys are all saying, well, technically it is rentable. Okay? Technically it is. And maybe it is. And that may be a legal thing. Okay? But that is, I'm not opposed to this. As Zypher says, DJ, it is exactly what it is. Okay? So, Lord of Ruins says, so is your job lost if the rent expires? No. Here's what's great. Okay? First of all, I think it's a weird way to put this in, but fine. I'm not upset about it. I'm not upset about it in any way, shape, or form because if you were buying the battle pass, you're not spending anything extra and you get another build queue. How many people have talked about build queues? This is great. Okay? This is great. I'm not upset about this in any way, shape, or form. However, what the build queue is going to do is it gives you an opportunity to start something. So there's going to be a little bit of strategy here. Okay? It's going to be a little bit of strategy here, guys. Walkman says, what if it's a 400-day build? I think I have a button for this. Okay? Absolutely, there's strategy here. Okay? You have 28 days to start a build. And you can start the build and use it as a normal builder the whole time. After the 28 days, you can't add anything back to it. It will lock back down. So, JG Nasty says speed ups are not a strategy. Listen. I can start something in that slot. Right?
Isn't this the rearrangement of what I said was the good thing about those lat speed ups to Karkin the other day?
Okay. So here's the deal. You put something in that build slot. Now, Tib says, fingers crossed you don't lose the item. Because you know how good they are programming. That would be a disaster. Okay? That would be a disaster.
Also, if it doesn't count.
Go ahead.
Also, if it doesn't count for buildings that have claims at particular levels. So, say the war room, or say anything that has like a increase at every 5.
All right, you guys are being tinfoil hat.
So if it's in your rentable one,
you guys are being tinfoil hat theory now.
Because that's broken before.
All right.
Build queues don't work the way they look on the screen. All your build queues are is the ability to start a building.
That's correct.
That's what you have.
That's correct.
So for 27 days, you get to start building buildings until it goes away. So if you start building a building right before it goes away, you're all done. You're finished with starting to build the building. Because that's all you're getting. You have started to build the building. Your building will still keep
Matters is 100% right.
Because
just like an EXO.
Oh, you only needed the queue to start it. Yeah,
there you go. Just like an EXO. Riskbreaker is exactly right. Matters is exactly right. Everybody, relax. You guys are being super tinfoil right now.
Yeah.
Because they break everything.
Being super tinfoil in the chat right now. No, that's exactly how it's going to happen. Okay? All a builder is the opportunity to start something. Okay? And then it will count down. Think of it the same way, like an exo comp, right? Do we lose if we have a building exo and we start a building? When the building exo runs out, does it revert our building time? No. Okay? It is the action of beginning something. All right? J-Babe says, Scopely makes us tinfoil hat. All right? K92 says, imagine if the builders go on strike on day 28 and building progression pauses. I would actually be impressed if it works that way. Here's why it can't. Here's why it can't, Matt K92. Because then your building is lost until you buy it again. They're not going to refund it back. It can't. And if it's a building that has prerequisites, like that's why that can't happen. Okay.
Yeah.
So, y'all, what this should look like when you get that pass is it should, if you have 3 building queues right now, there's one that says locked right below it. So this will probably be like a different color maybe to show that it's different. And then you use it as normal while you have it. This mechanic is actually really, really, really common in other similar games like this.
Yes.
And so I'm actually surprised it's taken them 7 years, 8 years to put it in this one.
I guess they finally figured that they weren't going to sell 3rd and 4th builders anymore. All right.
Also, they might have figured out that this would be a really good way to have additional queues for things.
Oh.
Anyway, and they're just trying it on buildings.
Oh, no, don't get your hopes up. I know where she's going on that. No, don't get your hopes up. No, but actually, you know what this is. All right, in my opinion, this is an extra builder because what are they trying to do? What did they just do this month? They just moved it from Ops 56 to Ops 61. They are still looking at methods to try to get people to move through the earlier levels faster. Even an Ops 20 who buys a battle pass is going to get an extra builder. All right? This is going to speed progression, especially for lower level players. To be honest with you, I'm kind of surprised that a lot of you G7 players are excited about this. Because most of us can't actually afford to run multiple buildings at once. How many of you guys have an open builder slot right now? Okay. By the way, I happen to not have an open builder slot. Just happen to not because I finally racked up the 55,000 gas I needed to start my R&D spot. Okay.
You saved a slot just waiting for that much gas?
Well, no, but I mean, the other buildings are inconsequential, right? Like extra generators and stuff like that. But I mean, matters, a lot of people are like that. Okay. K92 says all 4 of mine are open. Never use more than 1 at a time. Spock says 3 open slots. Okay. Shoddy says open builder slot. Major Pothead says I've got an open slot. Andy says I keep 1 open for my daily. Guess what? You won't need to do that anymore. Although, hey, for the daily, the new lat conversion is actually better for you. I got to be honest with you. I'm kind of digging that. I know that was super convoluted and very confusing at the beginning, but I'm actually enjoying that. All right. But you're right, Lord of Ruins. Everything is too expensive to have multiple builds on the go, multiple at the same time in G7. Okay.
Let's remind in chat.
Hey, look, here's Matters. Okay, guys, this is Matters's. Okay.
I just opened my game and looked at it. I was like, do I have anything running right now? I do not.
Okay.
I have 0.
So here's the thing. I don't expect that advanced players are the ones who are going to get the most benefit out of a 3rd or 4th or 5th queue. Okay? I think who's going to get the benefit are the younger players that they're having to move up faster now. Okay? This is not a bad thing. Okay? It's not necessarily a bad thing. And I like it. So I don't think that is a bad thing. I think that it is not targeted towards G7 players. You know? Candy White says, is it a test for possible rentals of other features, like in other games? You know, that's something that Bubba Joe used to talk about way back in the day. Rentals on ships, rentals on officers. He called it the test drive mechanic.
Yeah.
All right. Where's the blink counter? The blink counter, we got to 4.
4?
We got to 4. Yeah. So
Rent a vengeance.
Rent a vengeance. Okay. So I think that is a realistic thing. Now, by the way, Ristrusi says Tarpy just said that. Yeah, no, I get that. But Riskbreaker says that rentals won't happen. I don't think they're going to happen in the way that you guys think. I think the way it will work, if they do it the right way, is going to be giving players the test drive. You know what I'm saying? Giving players an opportunity to fall in love with it and play with it, and then realize that they have to have it.
Yeah, and then they're going to take it away from the battle passes. This is not going to be a permanent fixture. So,
well, that could be.
Get used to it, and then get used to spending money.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that very well could be. All right, Cruzito said, just like a dealer. Listen, Matters isn't necessarily wrong. I don't know. I don't know, but yeah, that makes total sense. Okay.
Me and Billy are buddies. We think alike.
Yeah, there you go. All right, let's finish up.
Well,
This activate.
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, it also just brings up the idea of really cool things to win from particular events. Like, you can win a sphere for a week or something like that, and you get to do that faction thing a couple weeks early.
Yeah.
Anyway, keep going.
And Tabby Mose is right. I think ultimately what this comes down to, this is something that they have now discovered they're not making money on anymore. Anybody who's going to spend money on builders has already done it. Okay? If they're not going to spend money on builders now they're going to give you a taste of it so that maybe, possibly, you'd be willing to spend money on a builder. Is that possible? No. Okay. Don't know. So it could be any one of those things. In any circumstance, what we're getting this month is not bad. And it's not bad for anybody. It will be better for some people than others, but it's certainly not bad. Okay?
Speed up.
Benny Hills Ghost says, well, you know what they say about cocaine.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
All right?
That's going on the podcast.
I've got a button for it now. I love it so much. All right. So fantastic. Let's finish up this video. We got 40 seconds left.
Activates upon purchase and provides additional utility throughout the pass duration. The Flash Pass will also be retired starting in Update 90. Broken Desealing Rod sourcing will remain free, but will be moved to other areas of the game. Overall, sourcing has been improved, especially for free-to-play players. Update 90 delivers a more cooperative, strategic, and rewarding experience with duo wave defense.
Hey, I want to pop back just for a second. This was a second glimpse at that battle pass. I just want to see if we saw anything different here. Hang on. Did we see anything different?
Especially for free-to-play players. Update 90 delivers a more cooperative, strategic, and
right here. Nope, same one. Same one. Still a smaller third track. Interesting, though. You see a few more things. You see ship parts instead of control cores. You see officer shards instead of ship parts. So this is why I'm saying the chart is going to be necessary. The chart is going to be necessary. We're just going to have to break it all out and see what we can see in a mathematical fashion.
Rewarding experience with duo.
Hey, look, there's the EMH Doctor. And Venari, no.
Hey,
To
look,
reiterate,
officer ability.
yeah, no. And Venania, to reiterate your question, will we be getting less rods and take longer to get free treasuries? No. They said that the number of Desealing Rod fragments would not be lowered and that they were going to redistribute them in battle passes and other areas of the game. So we will have to see, and we will hold them to that, but they actually claim that it will become easier for free-to-play in Venania. All right, so we'll have to take a look and see. Lord of Ruin says, look at the doctor. Oh, my gosh, a waves officer. That can't possibly be right. Goodness gracious. All right, let's take a look at what we've got here. Cruzito said you still haven't talked about different officers for the grades in the Battle Pass. Yeah, we did. G7 has a set. G6 has a set. And then 20 through 60 has a set. All right. So there will be 3 different versions of that. Paulo said, officer looks DOA. Well, okay. Matters. What were the things that you guys said about these hostiles? A, we need the critical reduction. But B, we need to kill them fast, right? Kill them fast. Kill them hard. More damage.
This guy's got 100% cascade at tier 1. So let's not poo-poo on him is useless. I mean, he's useless. He's niche. He's very one-trick pony. He's useful in the waves. He's not useful anywhere else. But in the waves, this is very good. That we don't have anybody that gives you that much at tier 1.
That's right. Tier 1, 100% cascade damage against, explorers in wave defense.
Yeah.
All right. So, as Matter says, very niche. All right. Zypher says DOA. I think he will be helpful. Okay. I think it will be very helpful. Is he necessary? No. Because anybody's going to be able to do these waves. But as Seth says, I think he's going to act as a great punch-up mechanic for people struggling with solos while working on their junkers. Love that, Seth. Let's look at the terminology very closely. 100% isolated cascade damage against hostile explorers in wave defense. Does it say solo wave defense? Does it say duo? Does it say mirror?
No.
No. And to answer your question, Zeron, he is an officer ability. That's an officer and a below deck that you're seeing. That is not a captain. Okay?
Yeah.
So
because it shows it going up with the next tier, so it can't be a captain's ability.
That's right. So the physician's intent is an officer ability, and his critical diagnosis is below deck. Now, Packet says tooltips have never ever been wrong, DJs. Obviously, okay, we're going to have to see it. Okay. Given how much tooltips are wrong, can we trust it? Well, obviously, testing is going to be necessary. Okay? Testing is going to be necessary. However, the way that they have presented it, we're giving you the possible use cases. Okay? Lord of Ruin says, listen, officer ability's fine. Don't really care. The asymmetry in his jacket is giving my ADHD absolute bonker nuts.
That's the entire show.
Yeah. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of asymmetry there. Okay.
Get used to that in the officers as we go through the academy arc.
So anyway, there is obviously a niche to this officer. Could he be great? Maybe. Could he be good? Probably. Is he going to be completely worthless? I don't think so. That cascade is really, really big. And as you guys pointed out, what is it that we need to do against these new things that have 5,000% crit damage? We got to kill them fast. All right? Every single shot that they throw against us is damage. Okay? If we save even one shot, then we're saving ourselves a whole lot of damage. Okay? So
which ones are the Explorer? Are the different types of are they all different ship classes as well?
Yeah, we've got 3 ship classes. Now, Fisty said that is not an officer and a below deck. He is indeed. This is an officer and a below deck. All right? Because you see that this is on the different screen. If we were on this screen is what you're talking about, Fisty. But on this screen, we're looking at his abilities, and you can see each one of them levels up. So he'll go at tier 2, he'll go to 130%. Okay? He'll go to 130%, and he'll go to 25% critical chance against players as a below deck ability. Okay? So there you go. Fisty, the captain is not locked out because we're looking at the ability screen. If you look at the top one, that's where that goes. Here, I'll show you. In-game, if we're looking at an officer, give me one, like Mara Dalen, for example.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, see, if
DJs.
we, right here, if we click on this officer, then we just see the officer abilities. But if we click on the top one, that's where we see the unfit to lead. Okay?
Yeah.
But there you go. Good question. Great question. Appreciate that. But yeah, when you're here, you only see the abilities. Okay? All right. So there you go. By the way, what do we see here? Officer Laurels. Officer Laurels to upgrade this officer. There you go.
Duo Wave Defense. It also introduces updates to the battle passes and events designed to streamline progression, increase reward value, and provide more flexibility. Good luck out there, commanders. Hit it.
Hit it. Zek says only 1,000 and not 25,000. I mean, for the first tier.
And you don't know how hard they are to get. That could actually be really bad.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I wonder, do we see it? Do we see it in the refinery? I just want to look real
No.
quick. We don't. Oh, that's a
I
shame.
don't think so.
That's a
No,
shame.
not that.
Would really suck if it was only like, I don't know, 8 or something. Anyway. Oh. Hit it.
He sounded like he like paused before he said that time.
He
It was
did.
just like a
There was a little.
hit it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might be getting confused. It may not be 8. I don't remember. Don't hold me to anything. We'll have to look at Jules' charts. Okay.
Even if it was 8, it would change with something.
Oh my goodness gracious. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is duo wave defense. So at this point, let's leave the screen right here on this particular image. I love this. And we're going to go and answer your questions. All right. We're going to answer your questions and we'll get ready to wrap up. Unless you guys want to talk about incursions, which I don't. Okay, you know what? Here's what I want to say about incursions. I'm going to wrap this up real quick. This is going to be the shortest segment ever. You ready? You ready?
No.
Yo, Scopes. Told you so. Told you so. That's it.
So I have
That's
a
all I got.
question.
That's all I got. When you put people on the opposite servers, they're never going to run into each other. I mean, I thought we solved this problem like 3 years ago. Tell me that the same people working on it today are not the same people that worked on it 3 years ago without telling me that the same people working on it today are not the same people that worked on it 3 years ago. Not to mention, that's just on the play style. That's just that's just with the mechanics. Okay, let's not even talk about the engineering. Let's not talk about the engineering where nothing was scoring properly in the client. And even on the back end, when they told us it was scoring right, our best data guys said that it wasn't. You know? And then the client couldn't even figure anything out to the point where, well, we're just going to let everybody be a winner. Which, by the way, that was the right thing to do. Okay, that was the right thing to do. Okay, so cool on that. But that wasn't intentional, Matters. The client just screwed up and let everybody be the winner. I actually had a really, really great write-up. I'm going to read this to you.
They don't have to give everyone a comp check.
Yeah, true.
It's a perfect solution. They should just have a button that is either one team wins or both win, and just flip it if they're running into engineering issues that they don't think they'll have figured out in time.
Which is all of them.
Making this armada-based, shrinking the time frame, both poor moves. 12-hour range, you can bubble through the event, easier to do. Armadas can be won without PvP. The size of the map, summoning players outside of a PvP band as a starter. Speed-ups, cloaks, and all of this, although all good strategies, going to get super stale really quick, much more than base rating ever did. Players are incentivized to game PvP more than before, due to no risk of unshielding or shielding in the first place. And it doesn't address any core issues to the game itself, such as tech issues and base rating. PvP has always been broken. All right? And I understand trying to fix it, but open PvP and chaos on paired servers was fun. I want to circle back and give my feedback after having played it one time. So this guy was on a US server. I engaged all day despite my want. It is worse than I thought. Worst 12 hours of gameplay experience that I've had inside Fleet Command in a very long time. Completely dead. Raiding provided PvP, armadas did not. It's been dead, and the ships being used for all the armadas were Vindicators and Junkers. Small, not challenging, and not good for PvP. Add on the fact that Scopely created a 5 to 10 second pause in targeting after an armada is completed, so the invaders doing the armadas can just instantly warp out, avoiding any PvP whatsoever. I will not be playing this event again. It's dead. Scopely messed this up. It is the most pathetic version of Incursions we have ever seen.
Ooh.
There you go. Wow.
I liked it.
You did like it?
Yes, because I run an alliance, and I had 2 or 3 different people from other alliances on our server PM me, telling me that somebody was being raided, and I just got to respond and said, I don't care. They're going to lose all their stuff. Doesn't matter. It doesn't score for the meta anymore.
By the way, one
Go
edit to
defend them
that,
if you want to.
DJs.
Go raid them yourself.
Okay. I thought it was bad. I didn't like it.
So what do you get when you win a incursion? You get an week-long exo.
Yeah.
And what happens to that week-long exo if in the remaining 24 hours after your incursion, you go to use a loot exo, for example?
Well,
What happens?
this is not new. All right, you've always done that.
No, but it's still poorly designed based on how they're doing.
Oh, it is. It's terrible design. It's terrible design.
Can you add that to your feedback, please?
Incursions need to go the way of the dinosaurs, and not the cool ones in Jurassic Park. Zypher says, I just threw a shield and took a day off. Yeah, it was absolute trash. Absolute, straight up, garbage can trash. And that is me being super nice about it. All right?
I thought that's what you do always for incursions. So I thought you just always said you just don't even play it.
I don't play it. I tried to play it this time. I tried to play it this time, and I tried to play it this time, and it was just as bad. It was never. It did not do anything to refresh anything. It did not do anything for PvP. If anything, the solo milestones were much harder. Okay, it was much more difficult because nobody was out. There was no PvP. There was nothing going on. I would rather have been raided than had to do armadas. Cruzito ran 100 armadas. Does that sound interesting? Does that sound interesting? Anybody? I mean
I do that anyway.
Good on you for doing 100, but God, that's awful.
I hope they were Klingon ones.
It's like 2 months of loot.
Well, anyway, Stefan says exactly the same thing that our APAC players reported last month. All the same bugs happened again. No improvement. I mean, this is where things start to get just a little bit pull your hair out and smash your face against bricks, right? It's just the same old crap.
I stopped playing incursions because it was 24 hours. As someone in leadership, I was an admiral. Now I'm not technically an admiral, but I'm still high leadership in the group I'm with now. Incursions became chasing base raids, whether it was going to support raiding some open base on another server and get scoops in, or defending base raids that are happening towards people on our server, and this eliminated that from it. And then everything else in incursions, I could actually feel like I was doing. Was it perfect? No, but it took away the thing that I hated most about incursions was gone.
PvP?
And that, no, the base rating, like just the base rating, and the fact that there's so much priority on base rating, and that if anyone gets raided for too long, they become the black sheep of the server, and so everybody's got to help. You got to look after all your alliance members, and if anyone's unshielded, you got to defend them and whatever until they get back on, and you have to help the server, and we got rid of that, and it became just PvP. And that was nice. And I cleared the SMS I think just by staying unshielded for a while and people smashing against me and dying. So that was good. Well, I watched and repaired.
I always go with
I have no response
the amount
to that.
we
None.
The amount that we care about incursions always seems really interesting, given that we always complain about how bad the rewards are. And it's like, okay, if the rewards are bad, you're not missing much if you don't get them. And if the event is going 12 hours, I'm not expecting a lot of rewards for something that lasts half as long as usual compared to other events. And I'm glad I no longer have to sitter playing for 24 hours because that one doofy whale forgot to shield again.
Well, that's fair.
And then,
I mean, I do see that in chat. Carissa mentions that as well. That is the one thing that was really, really nice was that one person didn't throw it for the server. The scores were much closer. Okay. I can get behind
and not
that.
having to feel guilty about spending, as Andalisha says, like a week trying to clear bases before incursion. Or like guilting your friends to not quit for an extra week so you could raid them after incursions. Because that's been a thing recently too.
Okay. Well, so some people are saying that this was better?
Yep. Seems like there's a divide, as expected. Anytime there's a change to anything, there's going to be people who liked it more, and there's going to be people who liked it less. Maybe there was more people that liked it less, but there are people who liked it more. They liked the base rating being gone from the meta scoring. It seems like the people that liked it more liked that about it. They may not have really liked everything else all that much, but they did like that about it, and that was a big thing for them, like me.
Okay. Well, now I'm going to point out that there is a very clear divide in chat. Some people say not even close, way worse. Some say didn't mind it, easier to do, easier to choose not to participate. Jondrel says less awful. Gobbler says boring, but much better. Tavi Moses says better, but still not good. So, you know, I guess there is kind of a divide. There is kind of a divide there in the middle.
I think it also depends on if you enjoyed incursions before and you worked during the regular workday and had family stuff most of the normal workday. So when you got to do anything, it was overnight. And they took that away from players whose schedule might have let them participate at a different time.
Well, there you have it. I'm not going to... We spent more time on that than I wanted to, but that is a good breakdown on both sides. So there you go. If you guys like that or didn't like that. Did we have anything else on our list? I'm looking. Let's see. We did incursions. We did
really
buddy waves. You want to call them? Tarpy wants to name them buddy waves. She's on this campaign. She wants to call them buddy waves. Buddy waves. So buddy waves. We did that. We did incursions. We've talked plenty about Coda. No need to do that again. What was the other thing that just ran? There was something else that just ran.
The overpriced Coda. The words
are hard.
It is just yeah. Like I literally could see the card for the event, but I can't think of the name of it. It's that next to the Maverick Research one.
Spec Ops?
That one.
That was great.
Yeah.
Spec Ops was fantastic.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, except it required perfection. I'm going to miss it, which is sad. Spec Ops. Yeah, no, Spec Ops was great. I actually missed it. I'm going to miss it by one day, which is really sad. So I'm not going to get my cosmetic. I really did like Spec Ops though. That was well designed. I like that. I would have liked a little bit of buffer. That would have been great. And then let's see what else. Yeah, Coda. That was not super great. And I think that's pretty much it. First contact. Yeah, first contact initiative. That was a new thing.
You just send me.
Who? What? Okay, so let's do this. We're well beyond time. My plan tonight was to raid into myself and do a little bit of Studio B. Cruzito says, surprise, surprise, DJz is missing an event. Yeah. Listen, Cruzito, I think I have made myself abundantly clear. I am not the perfect player. All right? I play a little bit more casually so that I can effectively represent the more casual style, yet educated style of player. Okay? That is my excuse, and I'm sticking with it. Okay?
A question.
What's your question?
Well, it's from Silvertab, and it's actually a good question.
Okay.
So
No, I'm not getting the free skin. Makes me very upset.
okay, Data. Between the duo waves and the free battle pass changes, is it worth going from 60 to 61 before the battle pass starts?
Yes. 100%.
So
Of course.
Yeah. 1000%. Do you want to play in the new arc, or do you want to do catch-up stuff? And you're going to start getting new resources. You're going to start getting the Sigma. Yeah, absolutely. Always, 100%. 100%.
If you were planning to go to 61 within the next 27 days, then do it now instead. It's that simple.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Go. Tib says, you mean you did a video breakdown and it was longer than I expected? Yes. I can't imagine that's, I know, weird. Yes.
Video breakdown was normal.
I am a casual G7 player. And by the way, let me just point out, Cruzito will tell you, you guys think that casual and G7 don't go together? It's more common than you think. Okay? More common than you think. Cruzito says, I have a question. Do you think this is their move to specialty officers versus the Pike Morenchens of the old and use everywhere? Absolutely. Yeah, everything is going to be a little bit more niche. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Scaly says, if you can't jump to 61 today, don't bother. No, do it whenever you can. You're still going to get more rewards. But if you can do it today, go ahead and do it so that your battle pass will be better. Okay? All right, couple more questions in chat, and then we're going to get ready to go. And what I'll do is I'll end the podcast, and then I'll stay on video for just a couple of moments while I prep Studio B. So I'll let Matters and Tarpy hang out with you guys while I prep B, and then we can raid over there if you guys want to do that. All right?
Sure. I'm going to ask my question from earlier that I think you misunderstood when you answered me. So when I was talking about the ship classes and how like the Doctor was only for explorers, are like all the combat drones explorers and all the training drones are all interceptor? Like, are they separated in that sense? Do you know? Or
I don't think so.
Is there like all three classes for each of the specialties?
I wish I could remember. Honestly, I wish I could remember, and I don't. I'm sorry.
Okay, because that would be helpful if it was, because then you can like, I don't know. Then you can crew your ship using these officers for the specific.
I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no because we saw Venari Rall as interceptors also. Look, that's a survey. That's a repair drone. Here's a Venari Rall interceptor. There's a training drone explorer. There's another Venari Rall interceptor. There's a combat drone interceptor.
Oh, okay. Well, that puts my whole thing to.
You know what I haven't
If the combat drone was the battleship, then.
Well, I haven't seen any battleships, though. I haven't seen any battleships.
Sucks for all the people with nothing but explorers, then, doesn't it?
Oh, wait, there was a battleship. Hold on.
Okay.
Wrong video.
Right there. That was a training drone that was a battleship. So, yeah, I think they're all. Spock says, can you identify the hostile without scanning or zooming in? Yes, you can. So, training drones are going to have one shield. Combat drones are going to have 2 shields. And Venari Rall will have 3 shields. And then, of course, their ship type will still be displayed.
And the repair drones are the surveyors.
Repair drones are surveys. Yes. So, yes, you will be able to play zoomed out. Okay?
Yeah. Thank God. Because if you had to stay zoomed in for a wave.
Yeah, it'd be rough. That would be rough. Okay. Do we know what the mid-ops content is, says Enterprise? Yeah, I do, but I got to wait until tomorrow to talk to you about it, I think. Survey says, Fisty says, survey is no touchy-touchy. No, I think you're going to have to touch one of them. I think you're going to have to touch one. I think your partner's going to have to touch one. Zek says, how many waves? 4.
Is it like grass, where you have to touch one and they have to touch one?
Yeah.
Gets to
there you go. Mimi says tomorrow or Tuesday. Oh, well, Tuesday. I might tell you tomorrow. I don't know. Depends on who's watching.
DJs. What is wrong with you?
Lots of things. Will the prime that increases wave entity health work in duos? Yes, Domo. Yes, it will. So if you've got that prime, it will be effective here as well.
Okay, so the thing that Cruzito was trying to say earlier is a line in the patch or the notes that in G6 and G7, so there's actually a break between those, that in G7 you have FCM data and they spelled Mara Dalen wrong. And G6 gets Vijrailea and Sulu shards in the battle pass. So there is also a break between G6 and G7.
What? What do you mean a break?
If you are in G6 when the battle pass starts, you get FCM or you get Vijrailea and TMP Sulu. If you're in G7 when the battle pass starts,
yeah, you're talking about
you get data and Mara Dalen.
Oh.
That's in the notes, right between the pictures you just scrolled by.
Yeah. It's actually kind of funny because I think I would have preferred the G6 officers myself. Yeah,
right?
Yeah, G6 gets Sulu and Ilea. We're getting Data and Marla. But I think I would have rather had Ilea and Sulu.
Well, maybe we can get them to, while they're saying that the Mara Dalen's name got written wrong.
I don't care about typos. They functionally
swap
do nothing.
Them back.
Yeah, no, that's not going to happen. Will there be a benefit to moving up mid-ops or mid-arc? No. Not really. I mean, yes, all the events that are paying out all the rewards, but for the purposes of the battle pass, no. All right? But yeah, your events are still going to go up and pay you more, so yeah.
And this is the first time, at least within the battle pass arcs or ops, that it has actually mattered really between when you go up in ops. So it has mattered between the mid-ops experience and the regular battle pass, but this is now the first time it's mattered in the middle of that since they put out choice tokens, really.
Yeah.
Because they would always...
Yep.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay, so I think we are done. Any other questions? Okay, good. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to wrap up here. We're going to thank you guys all for coming out and hanging out, and we're going to sign off here. If you're in our live studio audience in video on YouTube or Twitch, you guys hang out for a couple of minutes, and we'll get ready to wrap up the podcast right here. Polar Bear says, can we do Lego? No, I got to do Studio B. Migot says, you missed my question, DJ, which was what? I don't see a question, bro. I see a comment about Latinum, but yeah, Latinum. You bought the battle pass for Latinum? Is there a lot of
He's
Latinum? He's
having sign-on issues, and he's asking for help.
Oh, well, I can't help you with that at this moment, but we'll do that. Fun Daddy says, I'll live with Studio B. I'd rather do Legos over Studio B. Well, listen, hang out for a minute, and we'll discuss it. All right, we'll discuss it. Yeah, Knowledge says, DJ is doing Studio B. Oh, good. I thought today was Sunday. Yeah, I didn't do it last night. I had a headache. All right, guys, thank you so very much. I appreciate you guys all. Be sure to visit our website, UltimatDJz.com or TalkingTrekSTFC.com. And that'll give you links over to our new Instagram and our YouTube, where we've been throwing up a lot of content. I actually threw up a video earlier today, and we put up the 20 hints for Ops 20, and we put up the field rations video, and we've been putting up shorts every single day. You guys be sure and go check that out and watch our YouTube Shorts channel. We'd really appreciate that. That'll be a lot of fun. And you can check out our merch store. We got a lot of stuff going on over there. Hey, for the 400 of you in our live studio audience, you guys are amazing. Thank you. And for the thousands more that download our show and watch after the fact, we thank you so very much. I appreciate that. Thank you to a lot of the positive commentary I actually had this week on like our timestamps and our summaries and all the production work that goes into the show afterwards. Really thank you guys for letting us know that you like that, because that is a lot of work. So we appreciate you guys all saying that is something that you like, especially over on YouTube and in Discord. So thank you guys so very much. I appreciate you guys, one and all. Be sure to check out our Patreon as well. It's absolutely free. You can contribute financially to the show, but none of the content is actually paywalled, which is crazy. You can sign up to be a free member on Patreon and get access to all of our Studio B shows absolutely free from the year 2026. And if you choose to support the channel, you can do that as well. Thank you so very much. Sci-Fi Fangirl, thank you for your Tier 1 resub. That gets us a PP point. Fisty, thank you for the 37 months at Tier 2 and Tier 3. He did the tier trick. He did the tier trick trying to get us to 300 PP points. Thank you guys so very much. I'm your friendly neighborhood cat person, Ultimate DJ, saying meow for now. Love you, minute. We'll catch you on the next one. Good night, everybody. Live studio audience, stick around. Don't go anywhere.